right. I'm live, but it's unlisted, so... Let's see if it's visible now. What's up, guys? Chris Stapleton singing national anthem. All right, there it's showing up now. See if this is gonna work. Yeah, Chris Stapleton just sang the national anthem. Got the coin toss coming up. What's up, guys? Y'all ready for 4 hours of commercials? Just kidding. This is actually going to be fun. I haven't watched, I watched the Cowboys, but I've been watching so much more football games. So it's going to be interesting to go through all the commercials again. Where's everybody watching from, guys? Can y'all hear me? Wait a second. That might be a problem. Test. All right, sweet. It's working. Effect. We'll see. I'll move that here. Nice. Sound is clear. Sweet. Is it late where you guys are, or is it midday? It's about 5 o'clock p.m. for me right now. Hey, what's up, guys? You guys do not know how unbelievably upset I am that I have to watch the Philadelphia Eagles play in a Super Bowl. They are bitter rivals of the Cowboys. So, y'all bear with me as I abuse logic for a second. If the Eagles win, or wait, if the Eagles lose, That's a win for the Cowboys because I don't have to deal with obnoxious Philly fans for the rest of the year. So, a win for Kansas City is a win for Dallas. That's what I'm thinking here. I couldn't stand to see Philadelphia hoist the trophy. From the UK, this is the first. Don't know anything about American football. All right, well, I'll try to explain the best I can as things are going along. One thing that's interesting about watching NFL broadcasts, and I'm sure it's the same with football too, but the broadcasts are not necessarily set up to where someone who understands the tactics can actually really tell what's happening. A lot of times I have to go in later and watch the game film from a different camera angle because the camera angles are going to be cut for action. So a lot of times it'll be hard for me to tell exactly what's going on, but I have a pretty good gist of the game. My wife thinks it's hilarious because a lot of times I'll say something and then like 30 seconds later, the commentator will say the exact thing that I just said. So hopefully I'm able to explain things as they go along. Ortiz, good to see you here in the live stream. So we're in for about 4 hours if you count the halftime of stop and go action with some commercials. I know this is something you guys don't really like, but cheers from Chile. Thank you for tuning in. So 11:34 here. Where are you at, Gideon? So it's 5:30 in the afternoon here for us, and the unbearable thing for me so far is not only that the Cowboys are not playing, but that my quarterback was on the field wearing a suit instead of his helmet. So here goes the coin toss, guys. It looks like they have some honorary captains for each team. A lot of ceremony that goes into the Super Bowl. A lot of ceremonial stuff to start off. All right, the refs with the white hat are the lead officials. You're going to have referees that work each side of the field, but the one with the white hat is the lead official of the game. 6:30 a.m. in Thailand. I forget that you're in Thailand, Archie's. I forget about that. So this is an interesting way to start out the day, I suppose. That's about how it is when I watch football games here, because on Saturdays the games start at 6:30. All right, so there's an interesting fact. I think I saw this, but I think the last 8 Super Bowls, the team that receives the ball loses. And that's just a weird fluke. But like 8 in a row, the team who starts off with possession loses the game. So Philly's getting the ball first. It bodes well for me as a Philly hater. Yep, more commercials. All right, anything you guys want to chat about while we're waiting? While we're waiting for action to take off? I will definitely be doing a running commentary once the play starts, but is it like a curse thing or just a coincidence, the ball thing? It's just a fluke. That's such a weird coincidence thing. Like that's just weird that something like that has happened 8 times in a row. Normally, it's it's a, there are two things. You can either take possession first, go down and score to start the game off and assert your dominance at the very beginning of the game. Let everyone know that, you're not to be messed with. And so a lot of coaches will take the ball first so they can try to score first. But a lot of coaches, when they win the coin toss, will decide instead of receiving the ball first, they would rather kick the ball and elect to just play defense. And the upside of that is the team that gets the ball first has to kick off at halftime. So at the end second half. So what'll end up happening is Philly's getting the ball first. So that means Kansas City will get the ball to start the second half. And so a lot of teams take that because there can be a real advantage. You get into the first half and the game will go, there'll be ebbs and flows to the game, and you'll kind of see how the game is going. You'll kind of see which teams are being dominant or which team is being dominant and kind of what's happening. And then you try to get some points at the end of the second half. And then when you start or end of the first half, when you start the second half with the ball, a lot of times teams can go up 10 points right there. And so it's kind of a back and forth thing. I would say about half of the games that I've coached, we have decided to kick first. And that's my natural tendency. I'd rather kick the ball first than to receive. But big fan of you, not really. Yeah, American football fan, but I'll watch just for a while for no reason. Yeah, hey, I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I like doing these live streams, even if it looks like we're not going to have a whole lot tuning in because, like I said, this is a hand egg game, like y'all like to call it. But watching Super Bowl for the first time, Swedish broadcast has no commercial breaks. What's happening on the Swedish broadcast? Y'all just watching what's happening on the field? That's cool. I wish I had that option. Although the Super Bowl commercials historically are really good, like they're really entertaining, but the last few years haven't been the case. They've just kind of been dumb. They just talk and film around. That's interesting. That happens. No, I would like to see a Super Bowl with no ads. That'd be interesting for me. It's kind of like there are a lot of people so this is my first time watching a Super Bowl where I'm not at like a Super Bowl party. But I had a lot of folks say that they would be interested in watching their first NFL game with me. So I was like, yeah, that'll be fun. Plus, I really think that if Philadelphia wins, I would have a hard time being nice to anyone around me. So better that I'm watching it alone. I know about the Bud Beard commercial, though. Yeah. So, the Super Bowl, there are a lot of people who go to Super Bowl parties and, they don't even really care about watching the game. They don't really like sports that much. They're just there to watch the commercials. And it's just kind of fun, a thing that Americans do. Somebody will go the entire year, not watch a single game, but you'll have hundreds of people show up to the Super Bowl party. So, I actually just wish the game would get started because I actually enjoy the action more than I enjoy the ceremony. Been following your football progress. Keep at it and might get you signed up for Nottingham Forest. I doubt that very seriously. I have really been having fun playing, though. Yesterday I took a break from playing. I've been playing every day, but I feel like I was going to tear a muscle because I've been playing every day. Let's see. Let's go Chiefs and Mahomes. I am with you there. I'm from Brazil. I can see how you're enjoying soccer and working hard. Congratulations. You don't have to call it soccer just for me. I've been calling it football. As a British guy that loves both forms of football and is looking to play American football at university, you got any tips to start playing? my biggest tip is spend more time in the weight room than you think is necessary. Even like take the weight room very seriously. Do more than just the weights that are going to give you power and strength, because there's going to be like the little stabilizer muscles and things like that. Just make sure that your muscles are really in shape, because you'll get injured if you just do the minimum. So yeah, that's the first thing. And then, just play physical. Don't be afraid to. What I always tell my players is, if you play like you're afraid to get hurt, injuries tend to happen to guys that are playing afraid to get hurt. So just kind of go out there, put your body on the line, and you'll find that more times up than not, it's not as bad as it seems. Let's see. Got a Packers fan in here. Oh, all right. So first down, they handed the ball to is that Miles Sanders? They handed the ball to Sanders to an outside run, and he fumbled the ball in the first play, but it went out of bounds. So only about 2-yard gain there. That was that's not the play call that I would have used to start the Super Bowl. They actually lost a yard. Wow. Okay. I would have tried to run straight ahead, try to attack the center of the defense, because you've got a really powerful line, and Kansas City's fast on the edges. So I would have tried to attack right through the middle. All right. Doesn't it irritate you that the game is played around the ads? Wait, though, Luke. Seems so far over the top regarding the flow and engagement regarding any sport we like watching. Absolutely. That's been, like, so far in my journey with football, that's been the thing that has bugged me the most. And I didn't realize what I was missing out on, because I just kind of got used to ads. But if you see this sport played on the high school level, you get to see like a really pure form of it, and you see why it's so enjoyable of a sport. All right, well, it looks like Hurts. Oh, that was a near helmet-to-helmet hit on Smith, but yeah, he just got clocked. But yeah, the ads really do bug me, because I like to see the game just continuously be played. Is there literally an ad between plays? No. There will be an ad at any point in time where the play gets stopped for like a timeout. There will be an ad break. An injury, there will be an ad break. A touchdown, there will be an ad break. Or any time where the play gets stopped for more than the standard like 25 seconds, there will be ads. So we'll probably go 8 to 10 minutes on average before we get 4 minutes of commercials. But it does seem like it stops a lot. Yeah, but we don't have ads after every play. No. Yeah, that was a crazy hit that just happened. All right, so we're 2nd and 10. Hurts is in the shotgun. He has this is what we call an empty gun. He's lined up behind the offensive line. No running backs, all receivers. Good block by his running back. Wow. So Hurts gets 10 yards on 2nd and 10, first down. All right, let's see. As a coach point of view, what would be the biggest piece of advice you'd give someone that seeks professionalism? So talking to someone who's trying to go pro. That's a good question. I mean, I would just, keep grinding, because it's a tough sport to be good at the top level. Like, I was really good when I played, and I was barely good enough to play college ball. It's just, keep grinding. I keep saying it, but weight room is probably the biggest thing. You get your mobility and your strength. But all right, Messi said about injuries doesn't get injured because he doesn't think it would happen. Yeah. So if you're playing scared, and a lot of guys in American football play scared. Oh, Devontae Smith broke a couple tackles. So it looks like the Eagles are driving. They're probably going to score a touchdown here, but they're looking. Their offense is looking great. Good throw by Hurts right into the teeth of the defense. Found an opening. What was I saying before I got distracted? Yeah, but basically injuries happen when you play tentative, and a lot of guys play tentative because it's a physical game and they're afraid they're going to get hurt. Got to be a warrior. Who has the better defense? Probably Philly. It's hard to say, but I think that Philly's probably the better team, but they don't have Patrick Mahomes. So if you've got Patrick Mahomes, you've always got a chance to win. Good defense by Kansas City on 2nd and 1. Philly's going to lose a yard. 3rd down. Does NFL allow non-American players to play? Absolutely. There are plenty. So trying to think right now on the Cowboys, there's what we call, they have an international program where basically players from all around the world can come in. But we have Isaac Alarcon, who comes from Mexico. There's several players who come from London. What was his name? Jack. Man, he retired. He played for 10 years. Played for the Lions, but he's from London. There's looks like Philly's just scored a touchdown, up 6-0. They gave the ball to Gainwell. Good blocking by the O-line. Oh, no, that's not a touchdown. I don't think so. I think he was down just a yard short of the line. They're going to review it, though. Can't deny some of those astonishing athletic Super Bowl highlights we get to see every now and again, though. Very impressive. Yeah, that's the thing, is there's people have criticized a lot, and I get it, the criticism that there's really only about 10 minutes of actual play that happens on the field. But some of the things that you get to see are just athletic anomalies that they're amazing. But I do wish the game flowed a little more like football. Yeah. So looks like Gainwell was down at the half-yard line. He's maybe a foot shy of a touchdown here. Kenny, they actually, so with American football, we don't really call teams world champions. Or at least I don't. Most people call them Super Bowl champions. Baseball is the one where it's weird because they call it the World Series. But I wouldn't be weird about in the NFL calling them world champions, because we're the only country that plays the sport. But yeah, and other American sports, I see how it's kind of frustrating. If Mahomes gets another ring, is he in contention to become a great like Tom Brady? I think so. I think that the next 10 years or 5 to 10 years are going to be Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. Jalen Hurts ran him for a touchdown. He's doing his obnoxious dance. I do not like Philadelphia. Ugh. I doubly don't like Jalen Hurts because he also played for OU in college, and I can't stand OU. So he's played for 2 teams that I hate. I like him as a guy, but I have not watched. Is that Adama Traore? I don't know. Yeah, I have not seen him, no. This game looks like a turn-based RPG, a Final Fantasy or something like that. Are you think because of the gear that they're wearing? Yeah. So here we go in America. We've got commercials now. Ben Affleck is in a commercial for Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, it's the ad breaks I don't like. I'd like to just give the ball to the other team now and let's just watch it. If Mahomes, okay, let me go back to this question. I keep getting distracted by action. So if Mahomes gets another ring, is he in contention to become a great like Tom Brady? I think he already is one of the greatest quarterbacks that's played. I don't know if Brady won 7 Super Bowls. It's going to be hard for anyone to ever get close to Tom Brady's legacy. So he's going to have to. I think Brady played in 9, 7 wins out of 9 Super Bowls or something like that. So, yeah, Mahomes he's got some work to do if he wants to catch up with Brady. Just terrible analysis. Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Whoa. I was like, I'm sorry, man. We don't have commercials at the moment, just terrible analysis. So are there like British analysis of the NFL game? That's interesting. What would be a rule you'd like to see created in the NFL? I heard that there were some interesting things that the XFL were doing. I really don't know. There are some rule changes. I don't know. I haven't thought about changing anything about the sport in a long time. Come back to me on that. I'll think about it. It's Americans on British TV. Oh, that's got to be brutal for you guys, huh? Y'all got to listen to more Americans talk. Two American analysts with the British presenter. Wow, okay. I like the communication and openness between the referees and teams in the NFL, unlike the Premier League. That's interesting because we as Americans tend to we can't stand officiating in the NFL. It's actually crazy. They're really talented officials because there's so much collision that's happening, and they do catch a lot of infractions. But yeah, okay. Wait, how do you feel about relegation in American sports? I wish we had it. I don't think it would work in American football, but I wish we had it in our other sports, like baseball. That'd make baseball more interesting. I would watch baseball if there was relegation. Basketball, I would watch basketball if there was relegation. But it's just the quality of. I guess you could get with the XFL. I guess you could get some form of relegation going in American football. But yeah, just wanted to say hi from Romania. Well, hi. I always love hearing where you guys are from while we're doing the live stream. All right, Kansas City's turn. See what they can do. Whoa. Looks like Fletcher Cox just lost his helmet. What happened? All right, so you're going to watch Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar go up against Lewandowski in Champions League Tuesday? Wait, Zlatan's playing? I didn't know he was. I didn't know he played for. Does he play for Milan? I was planning on watching the Tottenham game, but so many people have said that it would be better to watch the PSG game, and that was just my bad. I didn't realize they were being played at the same time. So yeah, I will be watching. I'll be watching PSG. I'll probably flip back and forth between both of them, but probably will watch PSG. That's probably going to be better football. I stumbled upon your channel because of your football, soccer, because it's my favorite sport. Do you have any video explaining American football for beginners? I don't. This is actually the first video, the first American football content I've ever done on the channel. So it'd be interesting. Maybe one day I will make one, like kind of like a beginner's guide to the sport if you wanted to get into it. Because I do, like I coach American football. Like I really, I think, understand this game pretty well. So yeah, I would probably start doing some NFL analysis. I've fallen so deeply in love with football that all right, oh, Kansas City. Oh yeah, all right. That was a powerful run. Powerful run. Let's look at what happens here. Okay. So we've got a man in motion, which isolates that linebacker. So the linebacker for Philly, he goes with the man in motion, and he gets out of assignment. So then it opens up that long run. Interesting. Did the NFL get some sort of second division besides college football? No, there's no like there's like semi-pro American football, but it's not really. It's even lesser quality than college football. So there's not really a system in place like that. Let's see. A video about the big rules. Yeah, I could. That would be fun to do. I probably will do some of that content, but I've fallen so in love with football that I haven't really even done any American football videos. I'll probably do some in the fall because that's when I'll be touchdown Kansas City, Travis Kelce, Mahomes to Kelce. That is a beautiful throw and an athletic catch. That catch is much harder than it looks. That's a really big man moving really fast. Let's see. Good route. Oh, yeah, just beats the defender and adjusts to the ball in the air. Great throw. Great catch. Touchdown. Enjoying the Super Bowl as much as you did World Cup? Actually, no. Not really. Super Bowls are fun for me, but they're always a letdown for me because my team is always so close and we always choke or bottle it in the playoffs. And so Super Bowls they're fun, but they're always a huge letdown for me because my team was so close to being there. World Cup was a blast because I was just starting to learn the game, and it was such an epic game. That final, I've never seen a Super Bowl. The only Super Bowl that I've seen that like in my lifetime that was as exciting as that World Cup final was the year that Brady was losing 28-3 and they came back and won. That was an amazing Super Bowl. But are you any closer to deciding which football team to support? Yeah, I think so. I'm keeping it close to the chest, but I'm still watching around, but there's a team that continues to pop up. I'm not sure. I'm going to continue just watching, and then at some point I'll choose, but that's why we love you. Your love of football will become legend. Yeah, my love of football right now I would never have imagined when I first started making the videos that it would take place as my favorite sport, but it's at least tied, but it's probably my favorite sport, even above American football. But I do love American football, and every time I get invested into a game, I remember why I love it so much. You don't choose what team to support; it chooses you. Yeah, that's why I think that I've found it. It's unfortunate. I'm not so thrilled about it. But I think I kind of see myself in a particular team. And as I continue watching the rest of the season, I'll be able to tell for sure if I'm actually really supporting them or not. What's the advantage of getting a touchdown from far away? No, there's no advantage. Touchdown's a touchdown. 6 points, whether you're 1 yard away or 40 yards away. The only advantage that I can think of is psychological. It gets into the mind of the team that you're playing against. But honestly, sometimes those gritty 1 yard touchdowns are more taxing on the mind because that means you literally got beat up on the line. That means that you just got outmanned, basically. But yeah, they're all no advantage for long. As a Spurs fan, don't watch the game on Tuesday. PSG will be much better. Yeah, I'm gonna watch PSG. I'll probably still catch up on what happens with Tottenham though. Don't ever support Arsenal. I had a lot of people tell me I should, and a lot of people tell me I shouldn't. I'll just tell you this. I don't tend to root for the team that is currently the best. Not for any special reason. It's just I kind of like rooting for teams that are underdogs. All right, cool. First time watching, so I'm a bit lost. Yeah, y'all. When y'all are watching, if you see something that is confusing, just ask a question, and I'll try to answer as much as possible. All right, Eagles have the ball. 1st and 10. He sends his running back in motion. It's a screen pass, and they're going to pick up about 8 yards. There's a flag, though, so let's see what this penalty is. This is probably going to be a holding or a pass interference. All right, this is an interesting call. So there was an offensive pass interference here. I'll try to explain it if I can see what happens. Oh, yeah. Okay. So number 3 is out blocking before the running back catches the ball. And so he's interfering with the defender being able to make a play. So that's an offensive pass interference. You can't block before one of your players has the ball. There are a lot of rules in American football, a lot more rules than in football. So even I still, and I coach the sport, even I still have to read the rule book every year because there'll be rule changes. What brand of American football would you recommend to buy just to throw around a park with my friends? Wilson makes good. Wilson makes good beginner footballs. Nike always makes good ones. Yeah, I would like for a beginner. I would pick up a Nike football. Actually, Nike makes a good football. Let's see, here we go. Problem with American football is that it's a team sport portrayed as an individual sport. Oh, seems odd that so much attention and praise is given to one player on a 50-man roster. Yeah, that is true. We put a lot of pressure on the quarterback specifically. The quarterback is the player out of all of the players on the field who influences the game the most. So, like Jalen Hurts is the quarterback for the Eagles, and there's a lot of pressure on him specifically because quarterback's the most important position on the field. He's got to basically be the coach on the field because he's got to read what the defense is doing, make sure that the offense has the right play, and then he's got to dissect it while 300-pound men are chasing him down. So the quarterback is the most important position, but I see what you're saying here. We tend to focus on one player. Let's see. Which position are you most interested to play as in a football match? I think center back. Like I really like playing defense. quite a bit. I really enjoy defense. I think I got to get my mobility back, but I think I have good reflexes for defense. I always relate the quarterback with a number 10. Yeah, it's the quarterback would be, I think, very similar to a striker in that he influences the game the most. But this is an interesting keeper's job in football generally on Pitch Manager. He's maybe kind of a hybrid between the two positions because he's very he's a part of the scoring, but he also is distributing the ball. Are you allowed to throw the ball more than once? Yes. Okay, so you can throw the ball forward once. Okay, the ball can only be thrown forward if you're behind the line of scrimmage, where the line is, where everyone's lined up. If you're behind that line, you can throw the ball forward. But as soon as the ball is received down the field, you can throw it as long as you throw it backwards. We call it a pitch. And I know a lot of people watching rugby used to get on to me because I used to call them pitches all the time because they would pitch the ball back, but it's a pass because you can't forward pass in rugby. Let's see. I had a question here. Do I need to explain something again? Wait. Why don't teams have multiple quarterbacks on the field at the same time? Well, you can only have one quarterback position on the field at the same time. I mean, teams will have multiple quarterbacks, but generally speaking, quarterback is such a hard position that you want to stick with your main guy. Lateral. Yeah, it's called a lateral for sure. Yeah. So you can theoretically or technically, you can play American football like rugby in that once the ball is received, you can pass backwards. It doesn't make a lot of sense to do it though, because the play is going to stop as soon as someone gets tackled. So you don't want to give up ground. You want to constantly be pushing forward. So as soon as the player gets the ball, he needs to try to get downfield as far as he can. If he turns around to pitch it back and then the player gets tackled, you've just lost yardage. So you don't want to try to throw the ball backwards. You want to try to constantly be moving forwards. But theoretically, at the end of the game, sometimes they will play it sort of like rugby if they have no time, basically. They'll turn it into a rugby game. Yeah, here Kenny's right here. Lateral is like a last-ditch effort thing. Seen some crazy lateral plays. There have been some teams who have lateraled the ball around like a rugby game for like a minute and end up winning the game. But that's very, very rare that happens. Teams are really good at defending laterals. Yeah, Miami scored a touchdown with a ton of lateral passes against the Patriots, and I'm sure it's happened a lot in college football too. Okay, so surely having multiple threats with two quarterbacks allows you to diversify the offense easier. Yeah, but see, so the Cowboys tried this back in the 60s, and what ends up happening is for some reason, teams end up just having better chemistry with one guy. The Saints do a version of this where they have their traditional quarterback who plays kind of like Brady does. And then they have this little gadget player called Taysom Hill. And he can play he can play running back, he can play tight end, he can play quarterback. So the Saints might be the only team I know of that have a dual quarterback threat, but it's not generally done that way. Yeah, it does happen in college a lot. I think we're still talking about laterals. Wait, that Cowboy play. Let's not even talk about the Cowboys' last play where they had their running back lined up at center. It was just, as a coach myself, I was just embarrassed. I've never, ever seen anything like that. All right. Does anyone know how to watch college football when you're not in America? I definitely do not. But why don't they play the flanks and try to push the middle, trying to avoid a turnover? I'm not sure I understand what the question is about flanks. Why don't they play the flanks and try to push the middle? Oh, I see what you're saying. I think I see what you're saying. Neither one of these teams is choosing to go through the middle for some reason. And it's a good question, but it's because they have such good skill players on the outside of the field. So neither team really wants to try to pound the ball through the middle when they can get more yardage with off the field plays. Toby, get out of here. I made a mistake earlier, guys. Just say my cat is in distress because I had some buffalo wings before the game started. And he smelled chicken, so he wanted to eat some, and the buffalo sauce was very hot. And so the cat has been walking around in distress for like 20 minutes. I didn't intentionally feed it to him. But all right. Let's see. I've seen the Cowboys be compared to Manchester United. They're the biggest brand, but have sucked for years. That's probably a good analysis, but a lot of people were telling me that Tottenham is the Cowboys because they always have high expectations, but they always seem to do something just wild. Oh, he missed an easy field goal. 42 yards is not typically a kick that you would see someone miss. And Kansas City has a great kicker, so that's an uncharacteristic miss. All right, so I've always wondered if every helmet in the NFL has a speaker or just the quarterback and coaches. So, Kenny, the players who have the speaker in their helmet are the quarterback and the middle linebacker on defense, or whoever the defensive captain is, will have a speaker in their helmet, and they have like a little green dot on the back of their helmet, which means that they're mic'd up, and that's just so that they can communicate the play, whatever play they're going to get into, to the other players on the field. Tottenham isn't the Cowboys because they've never won anything in history. Yeah, there's always going to be little differences. Currently, as the Cowboys are for like the last 27 years, that is what Tottenham has been. That is what the Cowboys have been. They've had huge expectations. Always got very talented players. Looks like they're always going to win. They'll get my hopes up every single year, and I'll think, oh, this might be the year that we win. And then they'll do something that is just infuriating in the playoffs. Just crazy. But do you have any starting 11 that you like and a lineup for American football that you think is the best? Are you talking about like with like an all-star team? Maybe, but I'd have to really sit down and think about it. What NFL team surpassed your expectations this season? There's Toby. The Eagles. I did not expect the Eagles to be in the Super Bowl this year, so that's definitely surpassed my expectations. The Jaguars. The Jaguars, they were surprising this year. Yeah. Yeah, the All-Star team. I'll probably, I probably would have Mahomes at quarterback. My receivers would probably be CeeDee Lamb, Homer, I know, AJ Brown, um, or yeah, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought through it enough to have like 11 names off the top of my head, but do I think promotion relegation would work? No. I wish I wish we had a system like that in our other sports, but I don't think it would work in the NFL. Is just the disparity in the level of play from college to pro is too high. Um, there's no way that a second tier team would ever compete with the higher tier teams. And that's actually, huh? Let me actually think about that further. The reason why it wouldn't work is because our system is set up differently. Because we have a draft system. If you got rid of the draft system, and you were to assemble an all-star team in college, you might be able to see a pro relegation type system. Because what ends up happening is these NFL teams are just stacked with the all-stars of all of the college teams. So the level between a college team and a pro team, even the worst pro team would always beat the best college team because the worst pro team is made up of the absolute best players from college. So if you got rid of the draft and you just sort of had clubs, then you could see something like relegation and promotion, but it wouldn't work with the way we have our draft system set up. Um, yeah, Aaron. So now that I was just thinking through that, the thing that would reduce the disparity would be getting rid of the draft, and we just had an offsides. We're 55. You don't just get to go early. Let's see, snack. You can give the first pick to the first team in second division, so you reward good performance. Yeah, maybe. I think in some way you would have to abolish the draft, but and you would have to maybe reshuffle the teams. So like all of the teams have to start at ground zero and re-pick their players, and then allow college teams to have equal opportunity to purchase players. So if teams in the bottom league are able to buy players from the top league, then you could have something like promotion or relegation. But the way that our draft system is set, it never it promotes players, but it doesn't promote clubs. If that makes any sense. Like players are able to move up and down the ladder and they're able to get, obscene monetary contracts in it, but you don't have anything like a team that's able to move up the ranks. I don't know if that's making sense, but there's a draft in Major League Soccer, yes. And I think MLS actually would be something that we could do promotion or relegation because there are it's a growing sport here, and it's not like there's this massive disparity between um, college and Major League Soccer players. All right, what do you think of the flags that the players feel represented by in their helmets? Wait, here in Chile, we were shocked in a good way to hear that one of the player would be putting our flag in his helmet. So like players are wearing their international flags. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. All right, what are your thoughts on the way contracts are handled in soccer versus American sports? I'll be honest, I don't necessarily understand how contracts work. To be honest, in football, I know that there's a transfer window where players can be traded and things like that, but I don't know um, how the contracts work. Um, do smaller teams benefit when their players move to bigger American football teams? No. Um, no, the way that our system is set is different because basically it's just a progression for the players. You go from high school football, the best of the high school football players go up to play in college, and then new high school football players come in. Um, the best of those go back up into college, and the best of those go to the NFL. Um, so there's never any benefit to the teams at the bottom because they basically. So what happens? You'll have a high school sometimes that they'll like have such a dominant class of players, and whenever those guys graduate and move up to college, they'll go from like winning a state championship to being one of the bottom teams in the league in the span of a year. It's quick because you lose all your good players. So yeah, there's no benefit when players move to bigger clubs. Yeah, when I was in high school, our soccer team's goalkeeper was also on the football team. So the kicker for the team that I coach is one of the stars on our school soccer team, and our school soccer team did much better than our football American football team. We didn't win a single game, and maybe that reflects a little on my coaching. I'm an assistant coach, not the head coach, but we only had 14 players the whole year, so we only had three substitutes, and it's a very physically demanding game. Eagles have gone up about to be 14-7. Touchdown Eagles. AJ Brown, what a catch! I don't know if you guys were watching that. Fantastic play. Let me see what happened here. So we got a good route. It was good defense. He just AJ Brown just adjusted to the ball better. And it's just a good throw. He threw to where only his guy can catch it. I do not like it when the Eagles do well, man. I do not like it. Um, our system makes the players bigger than the teams. Yeah, that's a problem for our sports, I think, because I'm a guy who's like diehard fan of my team. Like, I don't care who plays for the Cowboys. I'm going to be, you know, invested in their season. I'm gonna probably cry when they choke. Like I'm invested no matter who's wearing the helmet. But there are a lot of American fans who are fans of players and not of teams. So like, especially in basketball, like you'll have kids that are like LeBron fans, and when he leaves Cleveland to go to LA, all of a sudden they're wearing the LA jersey, not because they're a Laker fan, they're a fan of the players. And I really don't like that. I don't like that. And I'm sure that happens across the board in all sports, but I really like being invested. Like I'm a Mavericks fan, not because Luka Doncic is amazing. I'm lucky that I have Luka Doncic on my team, but I would be a Mavericks fan even if they had the worst squad in the league. And it just seems like younger fans, and I say that like I'm 25. I'm not like old, but younger fans like are ruining sports for us. That's the only thing that worries me about franchises. You could be invested, and then next year the team picks up and moves to another city. Yeah, I would say that it is rare that this happens, and it usually happens to teams that have not had a really storied tradition. Um, like it would never happen to the Cowboys because the Cowboys have established their tradition in Dallas. It would never happen to the Packers. Green Bay will never move. San Francisco will never lose their team. The New York Giants will never lose their team. Philadelphia will never lose their team. Um, Probably the same for Kansas City too. But like Oakland had a history and they lost their team. The Rams, they were from St. Louis. Trying to think of all the San Diego Chargers became the Los Angeles Chargers. So I've seen in my lifetime, I've seen several teams move. Yeah. At least Luka got some help now. Yeah, it's been I thought, I didn't really want Kyrie because I thought he would be a headache. They play well together though so far. So we'll see how it works out. I don't think okay. I don't think players are bigger than teams in the US. What did we just have happen here? Sorry. Oh, there definitely should have been a penalty here. So um Mahomes is going to number 9, who is I think that's Juju Smith Schuster, and he definitely got held, and the refs did not throw a flag. So that's a bad call by the official there, in my opinion. Um, okay, I don't think players are bigger than the teams in the U.S. as players can be traded whenever the team decides. Only superstars have that kind of weight to their name, but football is the same way. Yeah, I mean it's the superstars that people follow the player for sure. But like KD just got traded, Kevin Durant just got traded from Brooklyn to that's another team. Brooklyn used to be New Jersey. Um, but he got traded from Brooklyn to Phoenix, and there were a bunch of people that I know who had his Brooklyn jersey who now have bought his Phoenix jersey. I'm just like, man, just pick a team and support the team. It's going to be interesting to see if Kyrie signs after the playoffs. I don't know. Like, I want to see how the season plays out. He might just be a really expensive rental. um, if him and Luka really do gel together and they make a deep playoff run, he might resign, honestly. But we'll see. Here's a good question. How many teams are in the NFL league? There are 32 NFL teams. 32 teams. 16 teams in each conference. You have the American Football Conference and the National Football Conference, AFC and NFC. And basically, two sides of the bracket. The Eagles come from the NFC, and the Chiefs come from the AFC. It's interesting because we don't play based off of points earned throughout the season. You could have a situation where there's a team in the AFC that has won 15 games and another team in the AFC that's won 14 games. They're both really good teams, and they have this battle in the playoffs. And on the NFC side, you have a team that's maybe won 10 games. And just because we're coming from two sides of a bracket, theoretically, sometimes the game that leads up to the Super Bowl is actually even a better game than the Super Bowl because they're better teams. So that's something that's a little interesting. Like, it's not necessarily the best teams that always make it to the Super Bowl. Sometimes a really good team loses out on that opportunity. Yeah. Oh yeah, if Kyrie goes to Phoenix, that would be Phoenix would be a monster, man. Oh, this is an interesting statement. Romo was the best QB in Cowboys history, just lacked the support to go deep in the playoffs. Hey, I actually agree with you. I am a huge Romo fan. Romo was really talented. Unfortunately, I think Dak Prescott's career is going the exact same way that Romo's did. Um, Tony just he had a supporting cast at the end of his career. He had a really good team around him, but his body was so beaten up from the previous 10 years that he couldn't stay healthy, and his career ended. So that's a bother for me. Um, is it based on geography? I think actually I don't know. Loosely, I think so. I think you have AFC teams tend to be West Coast, and NFC are East Coast / Central. I think, but I could be wrong. Better off being a fair weather fan, watching the best but closest EPL game. Naturally rules out being a fanboy for me. Yeah, that's my approach right now. But I'm sure that I'll get into a situation where if I ever start feeling emotionally attached to a team, then I'll know for sure. But um, who has the better coach, Eagles or Chiefs? That's a good question. My gut reaction is to say the Chiefs have the best coach. They have Andy Reid, who has been in. This is now his fourth Super Bowl appearance. Andy Reid has been in the league for 20 plus years, and the Eagles have a young coach who just kind of is proving himself. This is his first Super Bowl appearance. He's obviously a good coach. He's done very well with his team this year, but I would say Andy Reid is a much more established coach. Right now, Nick Sirianni has the benefit of having a just unbelievably talented team. Their offense is just stacked, man. It's going to kill me if they win, and they're looking good. They're looking good so far. How many games do they play in a season? This is, I think they play too many games. There's 17 games in the season. I think they play too many games, and the reason I think so is every team ends up like by the end of the year, the quality of the play on the field is not good, and that's because everyone is beat up. They have been through a brutal ringer of, I mean, each play is pretty much a high speed like car crash. These guys are playing extremely physical, and oh yeah, there's a false start on the Eagles. They're going to back them up 5 yards. Going to be now 3rd and 6. Love to see that. Yeah, I think they play too many games. I think if they would back off and play 14 instead of 17, then I think that player safety would be better. I think you'd see a better quality of playoffs. I think everything would be better if they would play fewer games. The only problem is they're never going to do that. They're actually pushing for 18 games right now because there's just so much money. There's so much money in it. Have I ever considered rugby, and is it a thing in the U.S.? We do play rugby. We have a major league. Oh, they're fumble. The Eagles have fumbled. It's going to be a scoop and score. Kansas City picks up the ball. It is now tied at 4. It's going to be tied at 14 after the extra point. Oh, that was You love to see that. Oh, you love to see that. Mahomes didn't even have to do anything. He can just stand there on the sidelines. All right. Yes, we do have rugby. Here's a funny thing. Because rugby is such a small sport here, um, it would actually be really easy for me to get into rugby and actually play. Um, so my running back that I played with in high school was not good enough to make it to college level football here, but he did play college rugby at University of Arkansas, and so he played Division I rugby. They were like number 9 in the nation. They had a really good team. They played against Ohio State in the rugby championship, but nobody watches it. So it's starting to grow. New Orleans has a rugby team called the New Orleans Gold, I think. Yeah, and I've thought about getting into rugby. I would probably be pretty good at it if I trained for it, but I don't know. I'm more obsessed with football than I am with rugby. I really enjoy football. I'm really loving learning how to use my feet. Um, did that guy have a mullet? Probably. Mullets are unfortunately sort of back in style here in the States, especially in the sports culture, which is weird. Um, in football/soccer, there is the same discussion taking place about too many games. This is apparent if you see how Liverpool are performing after nearly winning the quadruple last season. Wait, what does the quadruple mean? What is that? That's interesting. I think rugby is bigger in college athletics, more like recreational for students. Yeah, it's the same thing with lacrosse. Like lacrosse and rugby seem to be like games that like wealthier students are playing for some reason. Like in like these Ivy League schools. But I would love to actually get into playing a little bit of rugby. It just means 4 titles. Oh, so like they won. I'm guessing they won the Premier League, and then they also won some different cups. Okay, the Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao. How do you say that? Carabao Cup and Champions League. Gotcha. So I'm glad that Champions League is back, so I can actually start watching the Champions League. I hear Champions League is where the money is made, where the best football is played. So I'm excited about that. All right, this is interesting. Formula One, is this a big sport worldwide? Because like it definitely gets ignored here. Uh, I mean, people enjoy NASCAR, but I don't really ever hear anyone talking about Formula One. Really, F1 is huge. Wow. I mean, I'd be interested in checking it out, um, but I already know that like NASCAR has never really appealed to me. There's a lot of, which is interesting because I'm like Southern, and most Southern born folks here in the States really like NASCAR. I never really got into it, but Jalen Hurts is going to take the ball and he's going to get a first down. I want him to fumble again. Do that thing again. That was cool when you dropped the ball. That was nice. All right. The commentator on UK TV said it was a really good game. What do you think so far? So far it's been. I would say this is a relatively good game. Both offenses have generated a good deal of offense. The Eagles have looked good, except for that sloppy play by Hurts. So I've thought this has been a pretty. He almost threw he almost threw an interception. I've thought it's been a pretty good game. I would actually prefer a little more defensive game. But both of these teams have high-powered offenses. So I've also been a little bit distracted because I'm hanging out with you guys. So, but that's not a problem because it distracts me from the fact that I'm watching the Eagles in a Super Bowl. Let's see where I'm at. It's huge and is going to have 3 races in the States. Yeah, I definitely I know people here watch Formula One, but I've just it's never made it into my sphere. One of the things that I'm interested in starting this year, I've never really watched hockey, but I'm interested in watching hockey. I know that the big 4 here would be baseball, hockey, American football, and basketball. And I watch 2 of those. I don't really watch baseball. All right. What do you think about playing on turf for American football? I hate playing on turf. I played on both natural grass and on turf when I played. Turf hurts more injuries. It felt like for me. Then again, that could be just circumstantial. Maybe it's not true that there's more injuries. It just felt like when you got hit on a turf field and you hit the ground, it burned. I hated playing on turf. But most teams are switching to turf here. So why are there so many breaks? Honestly, the breaks feel longer because of the commercials. It's because they're trying to make money. But as far as the game goes, the breaks come in between play so that the teams can reset a new tactical play. Think about it like a battle plan. So you come up with a strategy. There was a false start there. Sorry. They stop so that the team can regroup, come up with a tactic to beat the defense and gain more yardage. So it's a highly cerebral game. It looks like it's just a brutal bunch of big men running into each other, but there's a lot of head game that's going on. And so that's why they stop in between, is to allow teams to reset a new play, run a new play. Some teams run a hurry up, what they call a hurry up offense, which means that they'll come right back to the line immediately after the play is over. And that's really fun when they do that. But that's why there's their breaks. See, they're huddling together so they can call a new play. But the ad breaks, the commercial breaks, are definitely just because the league needs to make money. I don't know why the Eagles just ran a run play on 3rd down and 7. Typically on the 3rd down and 7, you'll see them throw the ball. And now they're going to go for a 4th down. All right, so you need to watch this. 4th and 5, what might happen here, they might be just trying to make the Chiefs jump offside to get a penalty. They might not actually run a play here. Oh, they're going to run a play. Wow. And they're not going to get it. Oh, they're going to get it. Never mind. Hurts is going to – I thought he was about to get tackled in the backfield. Eagles are good, man, and it bums me out to say that, man. I cannot stand the ugly green Philadelphia Eagles. it really bums me out that the Cowboys have won like 4 playoff games in 27 years, and the Eagles have been to 3 Super Bowls since I've been alive. I've never seen the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. All right, 1st and 10. Barely got that play run before the clock. If you see the little yellow clock next to the game clock at the bottom of the screen, that's how many seconds that the team has to snap the ball to get the next play run. And if they don't get the next play run in looks like the next 20 seconds, then it's a delay of game and you lose 5 yards. All right. Just thought of a question I always wanted to ask. Do you parents pay for your first full football kit as a kid at school? How much is it all? It looks so expensive. Yeah. So, the school provides all the gear. So the only thing that we pay for is, I think my parents paid $300 for me to play one season, but I know that like some of the bigger schools, kids will pay up to $1,000 to play, and it's just to cover the insurance for the school. It's also to cover the cost of all the equipment. It is a very costly sport. Like the school where I coach at, we pay $10,000 a year to have an American football team, whereas our soccer team we only pay $300 for the school to be involved in the league. So but as far as for the parents are not expected to pay more than just like an entry fee. So we don't buy the gear or anything like that. That's all provided through the school, unless you're playing Pop Warner football, like Little League, and then as like a little kid, then the parents will buy your kit. But yeah, if you're playing on your school team, then they cover it. $300. Yeah, we paid a $300 fee for me to play football, American football. Oh man, Chiefs lining up off sides. Yeah, this guy loves lining up in the neutral zone. Yeah, you can't do that. His head was past the helmet of the center. That's why my parents were happy I did track. They bought me my spikes, and that was pretty much it. Yeah, some schools charge less. My school charged $300. Ah, good grief! Jalen Hurts, easy. They just let him run straight through the defense. Man. Yeah, I'm getting text messages from all my friends. Jalen Hurts. Yeah. This is going to be a high-scoring Super Bowl, guys. You're in for a lot of scoring. I prefer scores that are like the end of the game. It's like 27-24, maybe 30-20, something like that. But this game's going to be in the 40s. Do I play fantasy football? Yeah, I play fantasy football. Next year, I'm going to be playing fantasy FPL. I'll be playing Fantasy Premier League. But never understood the offside rule. Do you mind explaining? Yeah, it's pretty simple. So wherever the ball is placed, that it creates an invisible line of scrimmage. So you have to have 5 players lined up in line with that ball. And if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you cannot cross that line until the ball is put into play. So, like what just happened there in the last penalty, the player had his helmet across. Basically, his helmet was past where the ball was. So he had crossed that invisible line of scrimmage and basically was offside. And sometimes if a player gets a running start, like they're trying to anticipate when the ball is going to be snapped, and they start off too early, it just gives them an unfair advantage to get to the quarterback. So that's what we do with offside. You can't cross that line. Right, okay, so it's the same as the offside rule for rugby. That's interesting. I didn't actually know rugby had an offside rule. It's been so long since I've watched rugby. Huh. Do I think that football and football are similar in strategy? There are similarities, but I don't know in strategy. Like the similarities are you've got 11 players on each side. You're playing on a field, and the goal is to advance the ball into the opponent's goal. But I don't know as far as strategy goes if there's much similarity to it at all. Yeah, everything in American football is so precise. So, like, players have a set pattern that they're running, receivers have a certain route that they're running, and they're designed where they're supposed to go. And so sometimes the plays break down and you kind of have to go off script and you have to improvise. And whenever they're improvising, it's a lot more like soccer. It's a lot more like that when they improvise. But there's much more, like, I guess what you would call set pieces. Like every play is a set piece basically until something goes wrong, and then they can improvise. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, like I'm saying, like I would say I'm very well versed in American football, having played it and coaching it. There are rules that I don't know. Like there are sometimes in a game where they'll be explaining a rule and I'll be like, I've never heard that rule before. But for the most part, there's a lot to keep up with. It's a very, very strategic, tactical game with a lot of rules. So I can see why people avoid watching it if they're not that, culturally invested in it. But over here, it's like it's like a pride thing. Like your college team, if your college team is good, then like everyone in your region is just everyone's involved in it. But see, so right now the Chiefs are going hurry up. They're trying to get a play run. They're not going to get it. Oh, they are. Okay. I thought they ran out of time to run that play. So now what we have is the 2-minute warning, which is going to happen at 1:56. At the end of each half, when there's 2 minutes left, there will be a stoppage of play so teams can regroup without having to use a timeout. And it stops the clock. All right. Are there any limits on how hard or much you tackle somebody? Not on the force. There are limits on how, like, you can't hit someone above the shoulders. You cannot do helmet to helmet because of concussions. So if you're running with the crown of your helmet and you're trying to run straight into somebody else's helmet, that's going to be a helmet to helmet hit, and that's going to automatically be a 15-yard penalty. And possibly you get ejected from the game. So you're not allowed to helmet to helmet hit. If you're tackling a defenseless player, so basically if a player has gone up to get the ball and they're in a kind of exposed position where they could be seriously injured, and you put an unnecessary roughness, like an unnecessary hit on them, or like let's say the quarterback has thrown the ball and you drive him into the ground, they're going to call a roughness penalty. So, like, you just don't, they're trying to prevent injury. So, but pretty much any other hit is fair game, and you can hit as hard as you want. What is a 2-minute warning? Is an ad break. For the viewer, it's an ad break. Strategically, the reason for the 2-minute warning is it stops the clock. So, like, if a team is out of timeouts and they can't stop the clock anymore, the 2-minute warning will stop it for them. It gives both teams a chance to regroup, catch a water break, catch their breath, and come up with a new play without having to waste a timeout, basically. That's what the 2-minute warning is. You still have to memorize the playbook, and if you're a quarterback, you have to memorize routes for every receiver as well as be able to read the defensive scheme. So, yeah, and not only do you have to read the defensive scheme, you have to predict what they're going to do before the ball gets played, and then you have to adjust in real time when you see where they're actually going. It's playing quarterback is not an easy position to play, especially when you've got 300-pound men moving at the speed of light. They're coming after you. So, like the reason I love the game is because I've played it, and there's such an adrenaline rush with the physicality of it, and I know it's only short plays and there's so much stoppage, but that burst of energy it's such an adrenaline rush. It's so much fun. So, as someone who comes from a different, like, sporting culture, it might be boring to get into. But if you've played it, you can see why people enjoy it so much. Oh, man, Mahomes had an open receiver there, but the receiver looks like number 11 here. Looks like he adjusted the wrong way, and he was out of position. Let's see, where are we at? When you score, you give the ball back. Yeah. You crave possession as a reward. Yeah. Nope. When you score, the other team gets an opportunity to possess the ball. You can take it from them. You can intercept a pass or cause a fumble. You can take the ball back. Yeah, after you score, the other team gets the ball. What position do I play? In American football, I played as one of those big, nasty linemen on the offense. I was the center, so I would snap. I was the one who had the ball and would snap it between my legs, and then I basically brutalized the guy on the other side of me, push his face into the dirt. I'm a nice guy. I really am. Like, nice guy, studying to be a pastor, but you put a football, like an American football kit on me and a helmet, and I turn into a monster. What's up with the Chiefs starting early? Yeah, there's been a lot of maybe it's nerves, but I think it's just lack of discipline. They uncharacteristic penalties for sure. Not understanding the snap count. So a lot of times, and he doesn't just go hut or clap. A lot of times, like, quarterbacks they'll have these trick cadences to try to confuse the defense. Mahomes is going to run, going to get nothing. So, like, a quarterback will stand there. Uh-oh, Mahomes is down. Oh, he's hurt. Looks like the Eagles are just going to have an easy Super Bowl win, man. And that just bums me out to see Mahomes like that. I don't even know who their backup quarterback is. Man. Sorry. Yes, so in the stadium, you've got, 100,000 fans. Decibel meter is going to hit 100 110, 115. It's going to be like the same as being at like a Metallica concert. And those guys are going to be down there trying to snap the ball. And so they're going to be, he's going to say, hut, 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 hut. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to get the other team to jump offside. And so the guys on that line have to memorize the snap count. They have to know, hey, we're going on 7 or we're going on 2. The ball's got to be snapped on the up note of 1 or something like that. Like he goes, hut. You got to know when the ball gets snapped. So there's so much that's got to be going on in your head. You really have to be a cerebral player to play effectively. The backup's going to have to come in and play excellently in the Super Bowl. Man. Yeah, no kidding. Eagles literally Mickey Mouse playoff run. Yeah, both teams they've played have lost their starting quarterback. And wait, who do they play? Who did they play first? They played the Giants. Giants easy. That's nothing. And then they go up against San Francisco, and San Francisco played their best game against us. And then they get to play San Francisco without their quarterback. And now they're here in the Super Bowl, and they're going to get to play against the Chiefs without Mahomes. Man, I already don't like the Eagles, but dang. Oh, man. All right, let's see. I live south of you, and I support Austin FC. Excited for us to beat Dallas in the upcoming season. All right. I will be cheering for the Toros. You guys want to know one of the interesting things about football that I found on this journey? That was really confusing to me at first is the nickname system for the clubs. Like in American franchises, like the team nickname is a part of the team. Like we are the Dallas Cowboys. Like it was weird to me to hear that teams would have like multiple nicknames. Like that's interesting for me. I'm a Manchester United supporter. Which NFL team do you think would complement my EPL choice? Cowboys. Come join the dark side. It's tough. It's very brutal. It's hard. Also, yeah, this is a good comment. Patriots, Steelers, Cowboys. Yeah. I would say, yeah, I was gonna say Green Bay, but Green Bay is more of a small time club that has a lot of history. Cowboys are the most popular franchise and most like lucrative franchise that there is. And they have a very storied history, but they haven't been relevant in 20 years. Hey, United looks like they're trying to make a title run now. So see, I need to. Oh, what a throw! Did he catch that? All right. So Smith has the ball. 1 foot's in, 2 foot's in. Yeah, second foot. Yep, he got both feet in. Maintain possession. Oh, they're gonna review it though. That's a catch. Jesus Ferreira will not be able to keep up with. How do you say this? Dricey? I don't know enough MLS players. All right, so why is Mahomes struggling to find someone to throw it to? Are the Eagles just so good, or do Chiefs need to offer Mahomes more options? Okay, so answer this one. From what I've been able to see, and like I said before, with the way the camera angle is set up for broadcast, I'm not able to analyze perfectly. It looks to me like every time Mahomes drops back, the Eagles have someone blanketing or covering his open options. So early on in the game, Mahomes had Travis Kelce open every play basically. They've taken that option away from him, and now it's on the Chiefs. They need the coaches need to figure out a way to open that offense back up for him. So starting out early on in the game, the Chiefs were doing fine. Eagles adjusted to them, took away his main option. So now it's time for the Chiefs coaches to get together and figure out a new tactic. That's the best that I can explain it from what I've seen. Looks as if Eagles are just playing some good defense. Wait, is Nick Foles the backup? The Eagles' backup won their first and only Super Bowl against Tom Brady a few years back. Yeah, Nick Foles is a good backup. I think their backup is Gardner Minshew, actually. But Seattle always disappoint. They suck in the league and they suck in the club World Cup. I need to learn more about about Major League Soccer. I hope Mahomes comes back in the second half, man. I wonder what his soon it will be football fans react to NFL. On my channel, I definitely am a football fan now, so that's pretty easy. Oh yeah, I've worked hard on growing this beard, man. It's probably I'll probably keep growing it. I'm thinking about taking some of this curly long hair away. Oh, meaning I will become more of a football fan? Oh yeah, I already am at least equal on my fandoms here. The NFL will always be like my first love. Like I'll never be done with the NFL. Oh, they're going to take that catch away from the Eagles. Okay. So I don't have the commentary on, so I'm not exactly sure why they reversed that call. Huh. It looked like a catch to me, so I'm not exactly sure why that was overturned, and I'm not listening to the broadcast to know what just happened. Okay, so he's saying he didn't have control of the ball before getting his feet down. So, in order for it to be considered a clean catch, you have to the ball can't be moving. So he hadn't secured the ball before coming to the ground. So I guess that's what they're calling. In order for it to be a real catch, you have to actually. Oh, they're. I thought they had stopped Hurts on that. He is the absolute best at those quarterback sneaks. When you have a quarterback who can squat 600 pounds, which Jalen Hurts can squat 600 pounds, basically he can just lift weight off of his back. Man, he's very good at QB sneak. Yeah, so in order for it to be ruled a catch, you have to have secure possession of it, and it can't be moving around. Look at that. His legs are just so powerful. He just pushed the whole pile. It's not looking good for the Chiefs. They're getting beat up pretty bad on that offensive line. Yep, Eagles O-line is dominating so far. So people, what are we eating? Leftover Chinese takeout? I got Doritos. I haven't got into them yet. Doritos are like, in my opinion, the ultimate Super Bowl snack. Let's see, we got Doritos. Oh, my bad. Doritos and the Frito bean dip. It's a it's a classic in my home. My grandpa started that. Persian food. I actually have never had Persian food. What is a classic dish from Persian food? Is it? I don't know. You want to know how bad of an American football fan I am? I don't even know who the halftime show is. Like, my journey with football took over my life, and I pretty much only followed the Cowboys. I kept up with the league, but I didn't really. Oh my goodness. Eagles they might score another touchdown before the halftime. We've got 15 seconds left. Notice that Brown gets out of bounds here. If you run out of bounds intentionally, it stops the clock. So that way the Eagles don't have to use a timeout to stop the clock. It gets stopped automatically. Rihanna is halftime. All right. I'm now a Cowboys fan based on your suggestion. All right. All right. Hey, I'm glad to have you. It is a tough life as a Cowboys fan. However, they have a very, very, very storied history. Cowboys have won 5 Super Bowls. They were amazing in the 90s, one of the best teams ever in the 90s. But their last dominant year, the last year they won the Super Bowl, 1996. I was born in 1997. So I have not seen them climb the mountain in my entire life. I feel like a basic American would be a Chelsea supporter. Eh. Um, so it looks like Eagles are going to settle for a field goal here. So they're going to be up 24-14. Field goal is 3 points. Kick is good. Halftime, it is 24-14. Mahomes is jogging off the field. That's a slightly good sign. He might be able to continue. The problem is his offensive line is going to need to block like their life depends on it because he's not going to be able to run around. Yeah. I'm a Ravens fan. Are they any good anymore? Yeah, they're all right. They haven't been really good since they won the Super Bowl in Ray Lewis's last year. But Lamar Jackson is fun. They're a decent team. Yeah, I'll pick a team eventually. My thing is, like, I have picked my main team, which is FC Dallas. That's my local team. Like, that's the team I'm going to support. But as far as like teams that I enjoy watching or I feel like I connect with, that'll happen as I continue watching. Like, I think it'll happen naturally. There will be a team that ends up like I see myself in the club, or I find myself emotionally connected to them. That'll happen just by watching. All right, so it is now halftime. What's the last game that I watched? I watched the end of, let's see, on Saturday. I watched the end of, what were the teams? They had a green kit, but I think that's like an alternate. Man, I know the names of these teams. What was I watching? It ended 1-1. Bournemouth, AFC Bournemouth versus whoever they played. Who played against Bournemouth on Sunday or Saturday? Newcastle? Was it Newcastle? I'll look it up. That's the last game I watched, basically. Oh, it might have been Arsenal. I'll tell you exactly as soon as it. Saturday. Nope, it wasn't Arsenal. Yeah, it was Newcastle versus Bournemouth. That's the game I watched. I only watched it because it was the only one on. I still have to work a part-time job, and my schedule right now is I work midnight till 6 a.m. So I work during the night and on the back of the week. So on Saturday, I'm getting home at 6, and I could stay up and watch the 6:30 game, but I was so tired I fell asleep. So when I woke up, I was able to catch the end of that game. Yeah. Yeah. Eventually, hopefully, I can get to a place where I don't have to work part-time. I resigned my teaching position because YouTube was going well enough. But we'll see where it goes. I have to keep it on. I have to keep it on the down low. But I did just sign my first brand deal with a sponsor for the channel, and that's nice because they're going to really help me get where I want to go. My vision, like something I really want to do, is I would love to do some interviews like with. I've reached out to a few like historians, like football historians, to like do like a podcast style interview where I talk about where we talk about football. But I would really love to do a series where I traveled around the world to visit the clubs and go see a game. So like, I would love to like have a series where it's like American at a I don't know Fulham game or wherever. Like, was it Fulham plays at what Craven Cottage or something like that, or like American goes to see Real Madrid or Barcelona or something like that. A series where I get to actually go around and do more than just react. Like that's where I really want to head. And so that sponsorship, you guys will hear about it as soon as maybe next week. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Is YouTube income for you equivalent to your teaching position? No, but I was able to supplement it with my part-time job. So I work as a security guard here at the seminary where we all study, and I'm able to work basically part of the week, and then YouTube covers the rest. So YouTube's coming in pretty well, enough to help me get by, but we got to keep getting subs on the channel. It's growing. I really enjoy that, but Security Guards Unite, is that what you do? That's cool. Technically, we're called campus police, so I'm technically a police officer only on my campus. I do have the authority to arrest someone, and I have done so. But are the folks in your town chill, making the security job chill also? Not at all. Not at all. Unfortunately, in New Orleans, the crime rates are astronomically high right now. And our campus is located in a pretty dangerous area. So our campus is safe, but it's because we keep it that way. Do I have handcuffs? Yes. That seems like a weird question to ask, but yes, I do. Like a guard in a swanky high rise. That's cool. That seems a lot less stressful than mine. I have to drive our police truck around. No. I knew this was going here. No, not at all. Very, very. I don't know how to say this. I'm getting out of this conversation. We carry pepper spray, handcuffs, and a Glock 19. So I'm a real cop. So halftime show is about to get started. Super Bowl halftime takes longer for sure because of the big show. Luke, just make sure you got hands in case someone wants to step up. Okay, I don't know. The man has a gun. Absolutely. Yeah, I have weapons for sure. I've not had to use them, thankfully. The gun. We have had to use the cuffs before. The biggest crime that we end up having is sometimes people trespass on the campus and, being disorderly and drunk and out of order and stuff like that. But nothing. We haven't had a real serious crime that I've had to handle, but yeah, for the most part, like it's a safe job, but I do work that overnight shift. So a lot of times there's shenanigans going on outside of our campus. But yeah, okay. This chat could get out of hand a little, but living in America without a gun sounds a bit dumb to me. Depending on where you're living, for sure. And in our area, there are a lot of young men running around with guns, firing them at will constantly. So it's good that our security force has guns. But I'll have to. Yeah, I guess this is what the chat has become now. Gun violence discussion. Is it halftime show already, or do they have a mini show right now? They're setting up for the halftime show. So it's a big ordeal. They're going to bring in a stage and all of this glamorous stuff. So it takes them a little bit to get the show set up. So right now it's just more commercials. But it looks like it's about to start. But yeah, do you like the Creed movie series? I actually have never watched Creed. I liked the original Rocky movies, but I've never watched Creed. All right. We've got Rihanna suspended way above the field. I look like a Viking? Yes, I do look like a Viking for sure. Yeah, I'd be interested in watching Creed. I might get to a point where I start doing like sports movie reactions and stuff like that for I don't know. I'll figure it out. We need a live commentary on Rihanna's antics. All right. I'll keep you posted. So right now, it's easy to tell who Rihanna is. She's the only one wearing red. It's kind of weird because I have my sound kind of low so that I don't get the broadcast inside my live stream. So it just looks weird. I can hear it faintly, but it mainly just looks weird. All right. Halftime show is definitely the Puppy Bowl. I need to watch the Puppy Bowl. I hear about it every year. I like it when they have bands play rather than pop artists. I'm not really a pop music fan. I like hard rock and metal. So a Metallica halftime show. I'm not really even a big Metallica fan, but I would love a Metallica halftime show. All right, I watched the Puppy Bowl once. Definitely better than the concert usually. Yeah, I've never watched Puppy Bowl. There's been an occasional halftime show that was good. I think. Huh. Honestly, the halftime show last year I really enjoyed, where they had Eminem and Snoop Dogg and all of the like '90s hip hop. I enjoyed that one. I think Metallica has done one, but I don't remember when it happened. But I like last year's. I enjoyed last year's. It was good. Even though I'm not a massive rap fan, it was an enjoyable show, and it was kind of nostalgic because they went through like a lot of classic songs that like defined my childhood. Why are the Teletubbies white though? I don't even know what's happening, man. I don't have anything against Rihanna. Actually, her acting is really good. I've seen her in a few like appearances. Her acting's really good and beautiful voice. Just these halftime shows just get weird, man. Okay. I don't even know what to say about what I'm watching. Okay. All right. Have the Cowboys not played in 2023? No, they played in 2023. They beat the Buccaneers in their first playoff game, which was amazing. I got to watch that game in the Gulf of Mexico. Dak Prescott looked like an NFL quarterback. And then the next week, we played the Niners, and Dak Prescott looked like a college quarterback. So, yeah, Cowboys played 2 games in January in 2023. Better than sitting at home, I guess. Luke, when am I dropping my mixtape? Hey, y'all go to Spotify and look up The Other Worlds. That's my band. I was in a rock band. We've got music out. But I won't be dropping a mixtape anytime soon. I'm working on a song about football, honestly. But we'll see if that ever gets recorded. All I know is they better be doing some witchcraft on Mahomes' ankle right now to get him ready. Yeah, they're probably going to give him a substance of some type. I think he'll probably play. He was jogging off the field, and he's a tough guy. He's not going to let his Super Bowl chance, get away. Am I an Astros fan? No. No, I am not an Astros fan. I'm very upset with the Astros. I am a Texas Rangers fan. Anything Dallas. I'm sorry. Like, a lot of people in Texas are Astros fans, but I've been a Rangers fan, and it's been a rough existence for us, man. Like 2011, we were very close to winning the series, but rock musician too. Yes. Yep. I was the lead singer for a band for a while. I'm still thinking about putting out some new music, but I haven't done so in a long time. Well, that's okay. I'm glad to hear this. So, Houston versus Dallas is like the most one-sided rivalry ever. So apparently, Houston Texans fans cannot stand Cowboys fans, but Cowboys fans don't care and usually even root for the Texans. So I want the Texans to do well, but Texans fans, they like playing against the Cowboys is like their Super Bowl. They cannot stand them. Did you ever watch Walker, Texas Ranger growing up? No, but my dad did. Chuck Norris is the man for sure. They say that Chuck Norris got bitten by a venomous snake, and the snake died. Where are the Cowboys from? Dallas. Well, technically, they play in Arlington, which is like Fort Worth, Texas, but the Dallas Cowboys. It's the DFW area. Mike Bassett, England manager Luke, reaction video would be hilarious. All right. Mike Bassett. I'm going to look it up real quick. Oh, it's a movie? All right. Amazon Prime. Yeah, I'll look into it. Chuck Norris is the Zlatan of Texas? Yes. Yes. I watched Zlatan's debut for LA Galaxy. Just came in and embarrassed MLS. It's crazy. Yes, okay, Ted Lasso. Here's the thing with Ted Lasso. So I'm very close to getting this set up, but I basically need a different computer to do the Ted Lasso reactions. So I need to be able to run OBS Pro to be able to do it. So We're pretty close. I'll probably have those coming out soon. But I'll be doing Ted Lasso reactions. Zlatan or Chuck Norris in a fight. I would give the edge to. Actually, no. I was about to say I'd give the edge to Chuck Norris because he's a martial artist, but then I remembered that Zlatan's also a martial artist. There's a major difference in height between the two. You look like your name is Zach for some reason. I'm a middle namer. My first name is Timothy. Gold Cup in 2025. It'll be a mini World Cup of sorts. 16 teams from our region plus 2 invited teams from the other confederations. Yeah, I'm gonna be following football pretty much when football's being played, which is almost year round. I'm proud to share a name with Luke Kuechly. So those of you who don't know, Luke Kuechly was a linebacker for the Carolina Panthers. Very well-respected linebacker. He was a good player. Logan Paul versus Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris would send him into orbit. That sounded weird. Yeah. Chuck Norris would basically he would dispose of Logan Paul quickly. Who are the Puck brothers? Missing out not joining these chat sessions before. Yeah, we have a lot of fun when we do these. I'm going to start doing them more regularly. I always enjoy hanging out with you guys. The next one that I do will be Tuesday, and I guess I'll be doing PSG. Yeah, plan is definitely to be streaming more often. I'm waiting, so I'll keep doing with this setup for a while, but I'm looking at getting a new computer so that I can set up a Twitch account, and so I can live stream both on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and that'll be fun. That way I can hang out and watch football games with you guys. Chat for a game of the week. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. Have I converted any of the people I coach to soccer fans? I really haven't, but I would say a lot of the younger generation already enjoy it. So, like, a lot of my players, because our school has a good soccer team, or our soccer team is winning some games. So a lot of my players who play on my team are, they're all about like supporting the other teams at our school. So our school is very invested in soccer. And it's mainly because the soccer coach at our school played for the Jamaican national team. His name is Roberto Taylor. He played for Jamaica. He was very, very talented football player. He played for their under 20 team, I think. He was one of their youth teams before he got injured and couldn't play anymore. Yeah, I'm going to do some – I've got a lot of ideas, man. It's just trying to figure out what works. Like, I have my friend Corey who also makes YouTube videos, like music reactions mainly. And he's a massive American football fan, huge, big Alabama fan, like loves American sports. He's never watched football in his life. And so I'm trying to get him to come on and do some like videos where I'm trying to show him what I've learned about football and see if I can convert him over. But is sports in the U.S. mostly through school? Yeah. Sports are mostly played on the school level. We do have club sports, though. Like my sister. My sister is an amazing volleyball player, and she plays both for her school and for a club team. And then in basketball, you have most people will play for their school, and they'll also play for a club team in the summer. So I'm just buying a better computer. I'm actually looking at buying the new Mac Mini because it has like all of the processing power of like the bigger Mac, and it's like $499, so it's super cheap. So I'm looking at buying that. So very soon. What was your best 40-yard dash time, and would you consider it good for your position? Yeah, it was very good for my position. I can't run it anymore. You guys have seen my football videos. I'm very slow now. But when I was playing, I ran a 4.9, under 5 second 40. So to put that in perspective, NFL linemen, most NFL linemen run around 4.8, 4.7, 4.8. I ran a 4.9, right under 5. Very fast. I was very fast for my size. But I put on so much weight after I played that my my mobility is gone. I'm so out of shape. I'm getting in much better shape. Like it's starting to come back. But yeah, I definitely lost that speed for sure. In the rest of the world, most pro footballers have dropped from school at a very early age. Really? That's interesting. Yeah, it's weird that like American sports are very intertwined with our education. So, like, you play in high school, then you play in college, and like most leagues, well, that's not true. LeBron went straight to the NBA out of high school. But like with the NFL, you have to play college before you can play in the NFL. So, Ray Hudson calling the Super Bowl. Is Ray Hudson the guy who narrated the Messi versus physics video? The guy who's like in love with Messi. I think he was like he could balance a balloon on top of a needle in a wind tunnel or something like that. It was one of the like craziest lines I've ever heard. Yeah, yeah, that guy's awesome. That was so enjoyable to watch. Wait, no, 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 no. So I'm sorry. His name is Roberto Taylor. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe his brother is named Jermaine Taylor. I don't know. But yeah, our coach is Roberto Taylor. He played on their under, I guess under one of their youth teams, either under 20 or under 17, something like that. He got injured and wasn't able to continue his career, but he's very good. Like when he's not, because he's the principal of our school. When he's not at school, sometimes on Friday mornings he'll come play with us in the gym where you see us playing, and he just makes us all look silly. It's not even fun, not even funny. I haven't got to play against him yet, which I'm thankful for. I get to play against some experienced players, but mostly we're all kind of new learning the sport. All right. Yeah, no worries. Roberto Taylor. Yeah. Um, who is better, Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers, easily, easily. Russell Wilson was good for many years, but Aaron Rodgers easily better than Russell Wilson. Would be great to react to English commentators. Yeah, I'd be interested. Yeah, one of the things I've watched a little bit of Roberto coaching our team at the school. He's really good at coaching defense. That's what he played. He played defense, and he teaches them to be a little rough. It's kind of fun. It's fun to watch him because he's like such a classy guy. Like he's a like he's a administrator of the school. He's such a nice man, and he well respected leader at his church in town. So like he's like a really well respected guy. But you get him out there playing some football, and he likes to push and shove a little bit. All right, Eagles are kicking off to Mahomes. See, here is where the benefit of not getting the ball first. So now, if the Eagles were starting the second half, they have a chance to just blow out the Chiefs. But the Chiefs have got a shot here to make this a respectable game. So there's this one YouTube channel where these guys challenge pro soccer players to different skills based on their ratings in FIFA. And even the 50s rated players are crazy. Is it Chris MD? Is that the name of the channel? I've watched a few of these where like they had like 100 shots versus like a 50 rated goalkeeper or something like that, who's like 6'7". Yeah, I've watched some of those. Those are interesting. I want to get good at playing football. I doubt I'll ever be very good, but it's enjoyable. It's helping me get my health back, which is exciting. I'm feeling like leagues better than I did even a month ago. We'll see what the Chiefs can do here. I'd like for them to score. Hey, congrats to you guys who are staying up so late. I wonder if any of you guys have dipped out of the chat because of the time. Oh, great run on 3rd and 1. A little fullback run. Okay, that's unique because often we don't hand to the fullback. That's an interesting West Coast offense. Let's see. $43 now and can't run as I did, but my technique is there. Haven't lost anything. Muscle memory is muscle memory. Yeah, I've noticed that. I'm horribly out of shape, but occasionally, in practice with my team, I would demonstrate some of the drills, and I still, for one play, can do some things that even my players can't do, and it's just because I still have the technique from playing. But I definitely am not as fast as I used to be. You're the perfect American bloke to fall in love with football, Luke. You're also outstanding at documenting it. Very natural. Looking forward to your history phase. Being old too. Yeah, history is something I enjoy. That's actually my favorite part of my degree plan right now, is just kind of digging through historical documents and learning how to do historiography. So I've found a few football historians who have written some books. One of the ones that you actually introduced me to, I found the school that he was professor at. I'm trying to get in touch with these guys so that they can maybe come on the channel and do an interview. Almost 3 a.m. in Norway. Wow. It's crazy. I do not even know the basic rules of the hand egg, yet here I am as a result of YouTube notification. Yep. I'm trying my best to explain the rules as we go, but if you have any questions while you're watching, just let me know. Am I staying hydrated? Yeah, not as good as I need to, honestly. Might be the reason for some of my muscle soreness. I should be drinking more water. I'm trying to stay hydrated, but I'm training a lot, actually. I'm like in the gym for almost 3 hours a day for the last month, and I'm enjoying it. I'm not like pushing myself too hard, but I need to be drinking more water for sure. Yeah, Chiefs have a little good drive, like a pretty good drive going here. Had the ball for about 4 minutes, 7 plays. They're looking to score here. They're at least in field goal range, so don't turn the ball over. Keep Mahomes upright. Mahomes, let's go, 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 go. First down, slide, Mahomes. Don't get yourself hurt further. Good grief, Patrick. Yeah, I need to get a gallon water jug, honestly, and just carry it around. That's what I did when I played American football. Our coach would have us, all of the players were required to drink a gallon of water before practice um, every day. And if we showed up to practice and there was water left in our gallon, then there was a severe punishment. So you know how many guys were dumping their water jug out in the parking lot. I think I did a really good job of staying hydrated when I played. But it was good. I'm glad that our coach made us drink that much water because we made it through an entire season without having the like ticky tacky injuries and cramps. Touchdown for the Chiefs. Great run. Oh, don't injure yourself on your celebration, man. That's embarrassing. All right. This is a more respectable game now. What I like about American football is that everyone can play, tall, short, and fat. Absolutely. I was I was really dominant and I was never thin. I was really athletic, but I was close to the same size I am now. Just I'm much fatter now, but I was still a big guy when I played. Random question: is Whataburger really that good, or is it just Texas hype? Whataburger is that good. Whataburger is amazing. I don't know how to hype it more. Also, to be fair, I've had In and Out both in Texas and in California. The In and Out in Texas, horrendous. The In and Out that I've had in California, pretty good. So I don't know. Maybe it's better in Cali. I don't know. But Whataburger is just so good. They're making me want some Whataburger. We don't have them in New Orleans. I need some coffee, Luke. Yeah, I mean it's 7:57, so I'm not really that tired. Plus, if I take coffee right now, I won't be able to fall asleep when this is over. I am running on 1 hour of sleep though, because I got off work at 6 a.m. this morning, came home and took a nap, and then woke up early so I could be at church early. So that's commitment, honestly. But yeah, Five Guys is really good. I haven't had Whataburger in about 4 years, so I don't know what it's like now. But yeah, I'm looking at watching PSG versus who's PSG playing? Another big team. I'll be watching PSG. The Germans. Oh, Bayern Munich. Yes. This will be my first time watching Bayern. Is it Bayern? Bayern? Munich? Be my first time watching them play. Yeah, and I will probably watch Man U too. Roberto, the coach at our school, he's trying to convert me to be a Man U fan. He's a huge United fan. He started watching them in the '90s. Um, he's a big Wayne Rooney fan. All right, looks like we're gonna have kickoff by Kansas City. Man, there's still so much game left to be played. It's such a slow moving sport, man. I do enjoy the fact that football games are roughly 2 hours total. An NFL game, an average NFL game is 3.5 hours. This is going to be longer because you have all of the ceremony going on. But so if any of you guys need to hop off, y'all are free to do so for sure. But uh, man, I just hope that I hope the Eagles lose. Mbappe won't play. That's a bit of a bummer. Messi and Neymar are still playing though, right? I haven't watched PSG play, but I imagine having. Oh, was that a fumble? I'm not sure that was a completed pass, but it looks like Kansas City are just going to score a touchdown. Are they going to call it? They're going to call it a touchdown. I'm not sure that was a completed pass, honestly. This might get overturned. He catches it. Does he secure it? That's the question. I'm not sure this will stand. We'll wait to hear what they say. He caught and turned upfield. It's close for me. It looks like he secured it. The ball was not being bobbled. It was secure, and then he's turning upfield. That's what they call a football move. So he's trying to move up the field. It looks like a clean fumble to me, but it's close. It's right on it. I thought if you turn upfield, it's a catch. It's close. It's a close call, honestly. If you make what they call almost a subjective call too. The ball comes in and he secures it. He's holding it. It's not moving. It's not shifting. He makes a turn, which I would consider to be a football move. He's turning upfield, and then the ball gets knocked out of his hand. It looks like a fumble, but it's really close because no, they're going to call incomplete pass, reversed. Not a fumble. I'm not sure. The they're gonna say he didn't have possession of it long enough, I guess. I'm out. I don't even understand how the game is played / scored. Hey, I'll do my best to explain, but I know it could be a bit of a whirlwind, especially jumping in on the Super Bowl. I'll make a video explaining the sport for anyone who wants a video they can rewind. Oh, the Eagles always get the easy calls, man. Come on. Can't stand these Eagles. 3rd and 6. They got to get the playoff. Running out of play clock. Hurts going to go deep. Great throw and catch. Good defense too. That's just a very accurate throw. So look, he's got a step on him, and that throw is just precise, almost like a sniper. I do not like Jalen Hurts, but man, that was a good throw. Let's see. Have the Chiefs actually held them on a third down outside of the red zone? I've not been impressed with Kansas City's defense. I'm just going to be honest. I've not been impressed with them at all. Yeah, you know what? I will make a video about like the basic rules and stuff because when it comes time for the high school season to start again, which will come around August, because I'm going to be coaching again. I'm going to be helping out with our soccer team, which will be fun. But I'll still be coaching American football next year. I will probably do some content surrounding our team and stuff like that. But I still am going to keep this channel mostly focused on football because that's my new love. And it has treated my channel well. Yeah, I agree with this. People talk about violence being why people like American football, but I think it's mostly because of the tactics of the game. I think it's a combination of the two. It's a very fast sport. So like it's explosive. It's explosive movements, explosive plays, bursts of energy, all coupled with a mind game. And so it's an intense sport, even though it doesn't flow like the beautiful game. But I like it for the combination of the violence and the tactics. But I would say most Americans probably like both. There's also sometimes where there's just crazy feats of athleticism. So there will be times where you'll see a guy leap, catch the ball one-handed, contort his body in a way that you can't believe. So you see these freakish athletic plays too, which are fun to watch. And to see the speed that they're running with. But strengths versus weaknesses, pass or run, risk versus reward. You need both. You need to have a healthy balance between the two. It all depends on your personnel. So if a team has a really dominant offensive line where their big men up front are really big, really burly, really strong, and they have a good running back, running is what you would typically like. It controls the clock. When I coach, I prefer to call running plays because there's a higher risk of a turnover if you're throwing the ball in the air. However, some teams have really athletic receivers and a really good quarterback, and their line may be a little undersized. Maybe their big men aren't, quite as dominant. And so they actually play better if they throw the ball around the field. So you need a good balance of both approaches. And you also, what a throw by Hurts. Oh my goodness, man. I hate to say it, but he's balling out in the Super Bowl. Lost my train of thought. You need a good, healthy dosage of both. It just also just depends on the team you're playing with. Some teams will run more than others. Throwing is definitely riskier. Are the gloves stickier than normal gloves? Yeah, yeah. So I have some in the other room. So like I played intramural American flag football the other before I actually started making my football reactions. I played had 30 catches last season, so I still like I'm slow, slow as crap, but I still have really good hands. But yeah, the gloves are sticky. Um, and then they also sell product that you can put on them to cause them to be stickier. A lot of people like get upset about it, um, but the ball is flying at such a speed, and they're they're making such athletic plays that it's just more fun to watch them catch the ball. So gloves definitely help, and they're enjoyable to watch. You know, some guys play without gloves and they still have unbelievable ability. I've played games with gloves and without gloves. So I played a hybrid. This will be sort of interesting. In small towns in Texas, there's what we call six-man football, where you have three down linemen and everyone can catch the ball. So I was a center. I would snap the ball through my legs to the quarterback, and then I was eligible to run out and catch the ball. So my senior year, I had like 13 touchdowns, which was pretty cool. All right, I got distracted. Okay, the challenge here. He's got the ball trapped to his helmet. Are they saying, or is Kansas City trying to say that he never secured the ball, that it was still moving? I think that's what they're trying to say. Yeah. The first one wasn't a catch. This one shouldn't be either. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with this. I agree with you, Coolio. My favorite part, commercials. Now, I will put it this way. The only time that I enjoyed our commercial breaks is when the game is highly stressful and your team is the one that's playing. And it gives me like 3 minutes to just sit there and, okay, I wonder what the coach is going to do. I wonder what the coach is going to do. Text all my friends, well, we need to do this. So sometimes, like, the commercial breaks are a nice, relaxing time to, I don't know, they are also stressful. Yeah. Hey, guys, this has been a really fun chat. I'm glad that you guys joined in to watch this. I know my football live streams, we end up having like 200 folks in here. So those are definitely more popular, but I'm glad that some of you were willing to give American football a try, at least step out of your comfort zone to watch a new sport. Do I think a two-leg playoff would work in the NFL? I'm not sure. Is two legs the thing where like you would play a home game and then play an away game? I like personally, I like the sudden death format of American playoffs. Um, okay, the ball's bobbling. I'm not sure about the call. That didn't look like a catch to me, honestly, because he never secured that before going out of bounds. But it looks like they're going to give it to him. That's a tough call though, honestly. Okay, wait. So you think NFL can become popular worldwide like football? It's becoming popular in certain places, but it would be very hard for it to take over like football. Football is just such a universal sport that anyone can play. And honestly, football is becoming more popular here than it's ever been in my lifetime. So honestly, I don't think NFL will ever become as worldwide as football. So, yeah. It's so equipment intensive. Yeah. Like it's too brutal to be played like rugby for several reasons because of the rate of speed that you're playing with, and you're playing downhill. So you can't play it like rugby. Um, Also, yeah, you need the gear to play it safe, and that just makes it really difficult and expensive to play. Great defense by the Chiefs. What a great defensive play. They did not get fooled at all by that play call. I thought this was an excellent call by the Eagles. They changed formations really quickly and then pitched it out, and the Chiefs were not fooled even a little bit. But here we go, 4th and 1. Dude, Jalen Hurts just never loses a 4th and 1. He just always gets those quarterback sneaks. Man. Yeah, Eagles O-line is very good. I'll give it to him. It's like vomit saying those words, but all right, we got a little empty gun. He's going to motion his running back out as a receiver. Did they not? How is that not delay of game? There was no time on the clock. Look at big number 99. that would have been me when I played. Really big fat guy running really fast. 99 he made him go out of bounds. Good play. Now he's winded though. They need to get him out. That was always my thing when I played too. I could keep up with our running backs for one sprint during practice, and then I would be over on the side like sucking wind. Like okay. Wow, that was a really bad play by Hurts. Ball was thrown a little too low. Jason Kelsey. Kelsey with a hard hit. Hey, 3rd and 11. Most likely going to get some form of deep pass or maybe a screenplay. But they're going empty gun here. There's 3 receivers to the right of the field, 2. So we've got 5 receivers on the field. They did not get the playoff. They've been testing that play clock every single play, but Coach Sirianni calls a timeout to save them 5 yards. Only problem about American football is a stoppage every time. For people who are used to a non-stopping sport, that's a big problem. Yeah, I can see how there would be a barrier to entry for many football fans, because it is, it is difficult to get into if you're used to such a free-flowing sport, and you have a game like rugby that's very similar to this style of game anyway. So I could see how it would be hard for people to get into the sport. It's just, I guess we grow up with it here, so it's culturally just part of our DNA. And I've just grown to love the tactics and the athleticism on display. All right, we got a motion receiver who's wide open, and that's where he's going. I saw that coming. All right, but he's only going to get about 5 yards. Good defense. Good stop by the Chiefs. Going to force a field goal. So that's about as good as we could hope for here. That would be a cool video to explain the different player packages and their strengths and weaknesses against defensive packages. I could definitely do that. That's the thing that I do actually in my coaching is I watch the game film of the team we're going to play, and then I go into the office and I sort of design plays that will beat their defenses. So it's something that I really enjoy. I like shifting formations around so that I can figure out where the weaknesses will be. It's hard to do it while watching a broadcast, like I said, because they don't there's what we call the all 22 film, where they have the camera from way up above, and you can actually watch from that angle, and you can see where the route combinations are going, and you can see what's happening. But they don't show that footage for the broadcast because it's not as entertaining. So after a game, I like to go back and watch the other camera angle, so that way I can analyze what was going on. Yeah. Yes, the stops and play remove that flow, but creates the tactical decisions that you only see briefly. Set pieces in other sports, it's a trade-off for sure. I get into the sport because Madden was free and my Xbox I played, and I loved how tactical it was. Madden is fun, man. Madden is really fun. I'm pretty good at Madden. Offensively, which I am an offensive coach. I'm not very good on defense on Madden. Yeah, and so there is if you have the NFL ticket, which I do not because it's expensive, but if you have the NFL ticket, they actually offer, as soon as the game ends, you can watch the replay in what they call the all 22 film, which is that coach's camera. And so a lot of YouTubers that I follow, like Cowboys YouTubers, they will break down the all 22 footage. And that way you get a little better understanding of what your offense was doing and how each player played, and you can really analyze every single player. Because it's hard to analyze what the right tackle is doing because there's such chaos. It's overwhelming just to watch the play unfold if you don't know what you're looking for. So, yeah. Is there career mode and ultimate team on Madden like FIFA? Yeah. There's career mode. It's not as – I enjoy the career mode on FIFA a little better. Madden 07 on the original Xbox is the best Madden game that was ever created. It has the coolest soundtrack. It's like early 2000s metal and rock, and it's very good game. And they had a superstar mode where you could create a player. You basically get to live his life. You live in an apartment. You have an agent and all this kind of stuff. And you basically have a website created around you. And as you advance through your career, you get your next contract, you move up to a penthouse suite and then to a mansion. And yeah, they had the best career mode. And then they've just never put out a game anywhere near as interesting. So, in my opinion, Madden 07 was the best Madden ever made. I will defend that until my grave. A big thing that most people never realize is how athletically complex the battle is between linemen every play. Yes, I'll do. That's my passion. I coach offense and offensive line. I will show in one of my videos. I will show a play that happens, and you can see just the technique that's going into one battle between one player on one side of the field. Whoa, a little ugly kickoff there. NFL 2K5. I don't know if I've played that one. Huh. Juju Smith-Schuster. What a name. Seahawks fan, huh? Marshawn Lynch was one of the best running backs that's ever played. I love that guy. I love how he would be eating Skittles on the sideline. There's a video of him and Richard Sherman standing next to each other eating Skittles. It was pretty great. All right, Chiefs with some life here. Good little drive going. Couple plays in a row. And so what a lot of people don't understand is I know he just got about 9 yards, and so that can seem boring, but there was a lot that went into those 9 yards just now. There were blocks that had to be made. There was a battle going on with those 5 guys up front. Oh, look at this formation. This is definitely a run play. Yep, run straight through the middle. Everyone's out blocking in front. That was an excellent play call. That play was only designed to get 1 yard, and they got about 10 out of it. Excellent. And the thing about those kinds of plays, it's demoralizing to the defense when you're getting bullied and blown off the ball every play. And they're just running it down your throat, straight through the middle every single time. It's exhausting because basically it's just one-on-one with these big guys in the middle, and their guys are beating you. Yeah. Ravens. Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis was one of the greatest that's ever played. I looked up to Ray Lewis a lot. Ray Lewis's story was amazing. He became a beast because he saw a man beat up his mother, and he made a promise that he would never let another man put a finger on his mom and hurt her. And so he started working out like crazy. He had a deck of cards, 52 cards. He would shuffle the deck, and then he would turn over the top card. If it was a 10, he would do 10 push-ups. If it was a jack, he would do 25. If it was a queen, he'd do 25. If it was a king, he'd do 25. And if it was an ace, he'd do 50. So he would turn that over, and he'd go through the entire deck of cards just doing push-ups for every card he turned over. And he became just this jacked, like never been a player like him, honestly. One of the greatest. I would put him behind Lawrence Taylor, maybe the second greatest linebacker that's ever played. Ray Lewis was awesome, and his story is very inspiring. Oh, Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is a beast for sure. Yep. Yeah, Ray Lewis, he didn't actually kill someone though. He was, I can't remember how the story. He got exonerated from it. He basically was with the wrong person. He was with the person who killed someone, I think, if I remember the story correctly. I might be wrong, but I was thinking that he never committed the crime, but it taught him a lot about who he associated with. And so for the rest of his career, he was a model citizen. Never gotten another off the field trouble again. But I could have details of that story wrong. Geno Smith was really good this year. I remember when he played for the Jets, he was terrible, and he played really good. All right. Honestly, 27-21 is a pretty good Super Bowl. I'd love to see some Mahomes magic, though. All right. Best pro-American football player that ever came out of your hometown? Well, Dallas has had some of the greatest that's ever played, so I'm trying to think. Are you meaning like came from my home team or like actually originated from my hometown? Because that's a different question. Because then you could say, it's hard to remember who came from where. Texas puts out the most NFL players. DeMarcus Ware? DeMarcus Ware came from Arlington. Roger Staubach? I'm not sure. I have not heard the song Deck of Cards. That'd be interesting to hear. Let me see it. Have I ever played Rocket League? No. Do I have interest in esports? Not really. Not really, but I know some people who make a lot of money playing esports. That's pretty cool. Actually, that sounded like I said that I know people make lots of money. That's what I meant to say. I know people who make lots of money. I don't actually know them playing esports. All right, 2nd and 7. Man in motion. They're going to hand off to McKissick. Is that his name? Number 1. Get about 3 yards, 4 yards. Good defense by the Eagles, honestly. Oh, Jim Brown, yeah. Jim Brown, man, just such a shame that he never got to win a Super Bowl. Brown's royalty. Jim Brown was amazing. He is the prototype for all running backs who came after, He was the first GOAT running back. Oh, great play design. Touchdown for the Chiefs. Oh, wow. The offensive coach in me is squealing like a little child. Oh, my. What a great play. Let's watch this replay here. So they're going to send him in motion to get Slay going the wrong way and send him back out. He got beat so bad. Oh, he did him dirty. The corner bit on the motion, and it was a fake. What a great play right there. That was amazing. I'm going to steal that. That is going to be a part of Crescent City playbook next year. Did he just miss that? Oh, he made it. Okay. Yeah, that play is getting stolen. That's going to be part of my package next year. How long is the game, Luke? Very long, very long. We are in the 4th quarter now, so we're closing in toward the end. But yeah, it's a long game. Video games. I play Madden. I play FIFA. I play NBA 2K. And then I played a little Assassin's Creed, but I don't play anything really else. Don't have time. I end up either I'm coaching or reading for my classes or making videos or working. That's pretty much all I do. Do I think it's less rewarding to be a fan of American sports teams due to the fact that every season is all or nothing? Soccer, if your team doesn't win the league, they can still. I don't know if it's less rewarding because if your team does win, I imagine it's like a feeling like no other because it's so hard to win in American sports. It's so hard to win a title. But it would be cool to have multiple cups to win. I would say it's less rewarding. Something about the all or nothing is nice. I'm growing to the point where I can appreciate American sports for what they are and also enjoy football for what it is, you know. Yeah, this is true. Like when your team is done, you go find another team and another sport to follow. For sure. Like right now, I kind of have started to get over the pain of losing the way the Cowboys did. Like I was depressed, not really depressed, but I didn't want to talk to people for like a week after we lost. I was so upset. But now I'm finally over it, come to terms with it, and now I'm following the Mavericks, and it's kind of exciting right now. So, but yeah, like the pain of the Cowboys loss was real. That was tough. That was really hard when they lost against the Niners. Like the next week, I didn't even watch the playoff game. Like when the Niners and Eagles were playing, I saw the score update on my phone, but like I didn't want to watch football. I didn't want to watch anything in the NFL anymore. Are you doing a Master of Arts in Theology? Not sure what you call it in the States, but I'm assuming you already have a teaching degree. I am not doing a Master of Arts. I'm doing a Master's of Divinity. But I'm also working on an undergrad degree too. So I'm doing both. I have a teaching certificate, but I also am working on 2 degrees at once right now. So I'm earning them concurrently, basically. Master's of Divinity and a undergrad in theology. So yeah, one is a theology degree. The other one is just a history degree. Yeah. What a catch. Wow. So nice contested catch here by Goddard. He caught that ball with literally a hand in his face. Unbelievable catch, even though it was only for a couple yards. But yeah. Never got into the Super Bowl, being honest. Think it's awful. Hey, honestly, I will be honest. I would not recommend watching the Super Bowl if you have never really watched NFL before. It's a slower game, and because the stakes are so high, there are less chances being taken. And so I think just a normal Sunday NFL game, like at 12 o'clock, that's the kind of game that you'd want to watch. It's a little faster moving, less stoppage, and there's more risks involved because the teams aren't playing so carefully because the stakes aren't so high. I wouldn't start with the Super Bowl. Or am I going to become a preacher? That was the plan. Honestly, I would rather just be a writer. I enjoy writing a lot. And I like creativity, so I want to write. Um, you know, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with C.S. Lewis, but he wrote, the Chronicles of Narnia. He wrote a lot of like fantasy and fiction that had like theological implications to it, and that's sort of the vein that I want to be in, and even write some academic stuff, like just to Chiefs with a return. Oh my word! What a punt return! Chiefs are about to take control of this game, by the way, guys, just so everyone is aware. Um, but yeah, I just want to write. I write books. Write books is what I want to do. I'd have to say this is the longest I've watched the Super Bowl ever. Glad I can help. What would your thoughts be on having relegation and promotion for American football? Well, I covered this like a while back in the chat, which is all cool. I will cover it again, but I don't know that it would work with our draft system. You'd have to get rid of the draft system. And actually, I might. You know what I'll do? I'm going to make a video about this because I get asked this question a good deal, and I think it's worth a video. I think it's interesting enough. You'd have to get rid of the draft because the draft doesn't favor clubs, it favors players. And so we'd have to change how we look at that in order to have relegation. All right, yeah, that was a punt return. Punt return all the way down to like the 5-yard line. It was an amazing play. If the Chiefs can get in the end zone with a touchdown here, they'll turn this game on its head. 3 points is fine, but man, they really need a touchdown here. That was why I came to Thailand to write, gave up years ago. You just enjoy being in Thailand? I think I would enjoy being in Thailand. Thai food might be my favorite cuisine. I eat Thai food at least, before I started trying to diet and take care of my health, I would eat Thai food 2 or 3 times a month. I love curry. Touchdown for the Chiefs. Cry, Eagles, cry. I know that my team is not in the Super Bowl, but I am enjoying watching the Eagles lose at the moment. Yeah, Thai food is coconut milk curry is too good for sure. The I like yellow curry is my favorite of the curries with the potatoes. I love yellow curry. And pad like I know it's basic. It's like the one that everyone gets, but it's hard to beat pad thai. Pad thai is such a good dish. That like sweetness with the noodles and the chicken. And I'm just getting hungry now. I'm gonna have some Thai food. Pad thai is not something that I can be having regularly. It's pretty high in sugar. I gotta keep up with that old blood sugar these days. Which, by the way, guys, just so you guys know, my blood sugar has come down to a level that I have not seen in my life. For the first time the other day, I had a blood sugar of 89 milligrams. Or is it milligrams? Yeah, mg. Was the first time that I've had it down under 100. So all of the footballing and the eating clean and the trying to change my life has been helping. So that's definitely an achievement. Maybe all of the not eating Thai food has helped. The Thai food is my favorite. I love it. Vietnamese food is also very good. You guys will find something about me, which is kind of a curse. There's very few foods I dislike. I'm just not the kind of guy who dislikes food. How much do I bench, by the way? So this is embarrassing. So I benched the other day. I haven't maxed in 7 years. The other day I did about 8 reps of 185 on the bench. So I'm guessing my bench press max is somewhere around 250. But when I played football, I bench pressed 330. So I've lost quite a bit of strength from when I played high school American football. So my bench press is not that high. I also haven't deadlifted since I played. And I tried the other day. I maxed for the first time. I deadlifted about 350. But when I was in high school, senior year, my deadlift was 675 pounds. So the amateur world record, I believe, if it's still accurate, was like 840. And if I had just kept training after high school, I could be a professional weightlifter. But I didn't keep training. I decided I'd rather eat food and be lazy and play video games. And I did a lot of damage to my health, to be honest. I'm 25, by the way. RT's 25 years old, and I've done some damage to my health just through bad choices, but I'm getting back. Yeah, 675, man, that's a lot of weight to deadlift. A pound. Oh yeah, so kilograms. I'm trying to think. So Eddie Hall deadlifted 500 kilograms, which is 1,100 pounds. Here, I'll do the conversion real quick. I think it's right over 300 kilograms, but yeah, so my deadlift in high school was 306 kilograms. So getting into American football, I've got in the background and the game on mute and saw the plays and got it. Well, that's awesome. I hope that watching it with someone who kind of knows what's going on is helpful to kind of understand why we like the game. Because if you've never really followed it just kind of looks like a bunch of chaos. But yeah. I probably look a lot older than 25. It's probably the beard. But you're watching while playing Football Manager? I need to get this game. People keep telling me to play Football Manager. I would probably enjoy it. Man, did Jalen Hurts just do another QB sneak? I get sick of watching this play. I hate this play. He never misses that play. Great block by the Eagles linemen. They weren't able to get anything out of it, but up at the top of the screen, you just saw an amazing block by number 68. Watch this replay. Look at the top of the screen, 65. Oh, no, it's 68. Yeah, great block. Way to stay with it there. Yeah, I'm honestly, this is a good comment. I'm honestly really thankful that I decided. I did it for views. I was like, you know what? I was like, in my mind, soccer is the biggest sport in the world. I'm sure if I react to this, it'll bring views on my channel. I didn't do it from like a genuine, like, I'm going to fall in love with this sport. I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I watched it because, I was going to continue the lifestyle I had. And I was, the motivation to continue, like, to learn how to play and be an athlete again, like, it's been amazing. Yeah, this is a good comment. The QB sneak is like a rugby scrum. That might have been what those commentators were talking about. The analysts, the Philadelphia's quarterback sneak is pretty much like a scrum. They get a couple players set behind Hurts, and they're basically pushing him across the line. And yeah, it's basically, Jalen Hurts squats about 600 pounds. He's very, very strong. He has very strong legs. And so, wide open, tied it up. Oh, wow. I am surprised he did not score a touchdown. I like MMA and football, so my impression about American football is that it's somewhere in between. That's a decent statement. Touchdown, Jalen Hurts, of course, sneak it across. All right, now here's an interesting thing for those of you who've not watched before. They're going to go for a 2-point conversion here. Okay, so after every touchdown, teams typically choose to kick a field goal, which is 1 point, extra point. But since they're down by 2 points, they're going to just run another play and try to score again. If they are successful, they'll be given 2 points. If they're unsuccessful, they kick off at 35-33. So here's a 2-point attempt. Not converting the 2-point. This is a big play. If they don't get this and then Kansas City scores, then there's trouble. And they're going to get it. So tied is a tie ball game, 35-35. I told you guys this game is going to be in the 40s. This is a high-scoring Super Bowl. Bradley Cooper's up in the press box. This is turning into a pretty good game. So NFL games are pretty much kind of boring for the first half or so. But when you get to the end of the game, when it gets into the crunch time, it's when it starts to get more exciting because the stakes are higher now. A tiny mistake means you don't get the ball back, So now you've got to be very careful with, don't make risky plays, but also take chances. There becomes like this is going to be tight. This is going to be a fun ending to this game for sure. I just don't want it to go to overtime. It's a long game. Do I have any local adult football teams near where you live? So there is I don't know if it's a league, but right next to where my church meets on Sundays, every Sunday they play football on the field next to us for hours. And there will be teams that show up. There's referees that show up, and everyone's wearing different kits. I'm not sure if it's a league, but it's been hard to get in over there because nobody speaks English. It's a Hispanic community, so everyone speaks Spanish. I speak a little Spanish because my grandpa is from Mexico, but not enough to really make headway with them. But They're very good. There's no way I would be able to play in their arena, but it's something to work towards. I definitely at some point would love to get good enough where I could join a small little club or something, small team and a small league and play for fun. You know, right now we're just kind of playing with friends on campus, and it's helpful because there are some guys that play with us that are not very good, and there are other guys who've played for most of their life. So like I'm able to get, I don't know if you guys watched my last video that I did, but there is a guy wearing a red shirt, and he's a beginner just as much as I am, and I actually think I'm a little better than he is, even though I'm very bad. So that's interesting because I'll have a guy on the court that I'm maybe a little bit better than, but then I also have Isaac and Micah who are both actually pretty good already. And then there's Roberto if he ever comes and plays, and he played for a national team. So a lot of discrepancy in the level of play that I get to play against. One of the cool things when I was when my wife and I went on that cruise in January for our anniversary, there was a soccer tournament on the top deck, which was really cool. I didn't play, obviously, because, I'm not good, but watching was really fun. There was a lot of guys up there playing on the top deck. Is this true? Is this going to be the highest scoring Super Bowl ever if there's another touchdown? I've seen some high scoring ones, but it's one of the highest in my memory for sure. It's almost like a Madden score, to be honest. Toby, get down. My cat is driving me crazy, guys. 2nd and 7. We got the clock is ticking now. Now it's going to become a coaching battle. Do we? So Andy Reid for the Chiefs, he's got a decision to make. Do we run the ball, keep the clock running, slow the game down, go down and score slowly, or do we try to score fast? Good play, get out of bounds. If you run out of bounds on your own, the clock stops. You don't have to use a timeout. So 4 minutes and 32 seconds left. This is a tough decision. If I was coaching right now, I think I would err on the side of slowing the game down, and trying to run the clock down as low as I can get it. But that's always a risk, because if you don't end up getting a first down, you've wasted time, and then you have less time when you get the ball back. The stakes are so high at this level. Chiefs are milking the clock, yeah. It's funny because what you just said here, my wife laughs at me all the time and when I'm watching Cowboys games, because I'll say something and then 30 seconds later, the announcer will say exactly what I just said, and she'll just laugh at me because she doesn't understand sports. She just kind of casually watches me watch sports, and she'll just laugh every time. Yeah, Reid's experience. Andy Reid has been here before. He's won a Super Bowl before. He's played in many of them. So a field goal shootout, a top tier idea. That's an interesting idea. Like a field goal shootout from like 45 yards or something like that. This game is about defense. It's gonna come down to defense for sure. No. I'm thinking about it. I'm not thinking that's a serious, like a serious idea. But the more I think about it, that would be fun to watch. Team with the better kicker would dominate. What is happening? Oh, that freaked me out for a second. There was a Tubi commercial that came on my screen, and it looked like my screen just freaked out. Okay, I'm fine. I thought my Amazon TV, my Fire Stick, was like acting up. Let's see. Never really enjoyed following along. I've really enjoyed following along. Seems okay. Never liked it before. Yeah, I would say this is a decent. This is a good game. This is not like I've seen better games, but this is a pretty good first Super Bowl. Honestly, if this is your first time watching, this is a pretty decent Super Bowl. I love the game. I really do. Like I played it. The thing about American football that sucks is you don't really get an opportunity to keep playing after you're done because it's such a hard sport to play. You have to have gear. You have to have. I mean, you can play flag football, which is okay, but it doesn't really suit my skill set. My skill set was that I'm big and strong, and so I need to be able to use my frame, and so there's not really any chance of me ever playing American football again. So that kind of actually depressed me for a really long time when I realized I'll never play again. But playing football, I've realized there's actually opportunity for me to play on a team again. And that's exciting to me, that I can really be an athlete still. All right, we're milking the clock. It's 3:54. They're bringing in new personnel, so I think they're probably going to run the ball. They're sending Kelsey off. Smith-Schuster is going off. So all of their major weapons are going off. They're going to be running the ball here. Oh, great run play. Great design. Stays in bounds and keeps the clock running. So now you've got a real decision. Like, here's what I would be telling my players. If you have the ball and you have an opportunity to get a touchdown, get a touchdown. But we're trying to run the clock down. So we're trying to milk that clock as low as we can get it. But, like, if you get a chance to score. We need the points. But we're going to try to score slowly if it's possible. Mahomes is going to get that first down. His ankle looks fine. Get down. Get down, Mahomes. Oh, now he's limping. He should have slid. This is what legends are made of, guys. Playing through injury. Putting his team on his back. Amazing. Yeah, clock will stop at 2 minutes. Before you talk about top fruits, I'm invested in the game now. I was distracted for most of the game, but now it's interesting. Which position would you say gets to actually touch the ball the least in football? Offensive line. Any position except the center. Center touches the ball every play. But like your guards and your tackles, they're never going to touch the ball unless you fumble and they get an opportunity to cover it. Even defensive players will touch the ball more than the linemen. So yeah, the O-line, their job is being big and creating a wall so that nobody can touch the quarterback. So their main job on the football field is just to knock the crap out of whoever's in front of them. Yeah, Mahomes doesn't slide. Mahomes is that kind of like old school kind of player who's not going to – he's going to throw his body into the game. How long are these games normally? They're normally 3.5 hours, so it's a long game. It's a 60-minute game, even though there's only about 10 minutes of actual play that's happening. It's 4 15-minute quarters with timeouts, commercial breaks, and all of the stuff that comes with it, it normally lasts about 3 hours. If you went to a high school game, it's going to be a 60-minute game, but you'll probably get out of there in 2.5 hours. So the games are a little longer than a football game. But why is U2? There's a U2 commercial, and it looked like it was the Chinese spy balloon. That's oddly placed. Yeah, there's usually no halftime show. So halftime in the Super Bowl takes up takes up a good amount of time. A normal NFL game, you have a 15-minute halftime. Yep. Oh yeah, the Chiefs kicker, he's historically been pretty good. Just because he missed one, I would still trust him to make another. But I would be trying to get a touchdown here. You've still got enough time, and you're close. I would be trying to get 7 points. You want to force Philadelphia to have to score a touchdown. So field goal puts you in the lead. But then the Eagles can win with a touchdown. So I'd be trying to get 7 points here for sure. But if you get to fourth down, don't risk the turnover. Go ahead and get your points. That's a rough screen right there. Good defense by the Eagles. And Philly's going to take their second timeout now to stop the clock. So we're now into a clock management war here. Philly has one timeout left. I'm not sure what the most iconic play of the Super Bowl is. I think if they score a touchdown here, Mahomes' long run to set up this play right here would be the iconic one, the one where he comes up limping at the end. I think that will be a play that people remember if they actually win the game off of this drive. If not, then it's probably Jalen Hurts and all his fourth down conversions. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention as well as I need to. Oh, come on, Mahomes. There's a flag. All right. We're going to get a roughing the passer? What are we going to get here? What's the ref going to say? Defensive holding. Okay. That's going to be an automatic first down for the Chiefs. That's good news. Yep. He interferes with the ability for Juju to get into his route. It's a little ticky-tacky, but it's definitely a hold. Now so here's something interesting. Within 5 yards, as a defender, you can bump and push, but you can't hold and hinder his ability to get his route finished. So that was actually a bad penalty by the Eagles there. We'd love to see it. And there's going to be an easy – oh, he's going to go down short of the touchdown. He's going to try to force Philadelphia to take a timeout. Wow, why is Philly not taking their timeout? Look, this is a heads-up play here. So instead of scoring, he goes straight down and stops himself 1 yard short. Yeah, that holding penalty was not a great call, but it was still a penalty. Yeah, I agree with this. Yeah, they missed a big one earlier on. Yeah. All right, so Philly has no timeouts left. So they could just take a knee and run the clock down. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Okay. He was down. He was down. All right. So now it's going to come down to the kicker, honestly. They're going to let the clock run down. He might take one more knee. I don't know if he can. Oh, they're going to kick it on 3rd and 6. Is this because, and I'm fuzzy on the rule here. I might be wrong. They're going to take another knee. Okay, I was right. I'm confused by what they're doing. This right here is a big call. They're going to keep replaying this penalty because it's going to change. The Eagles fan, I can already see it. They're going to be losing their mind. But here's the thing. Even if they didn't get this call, I think they might have called roughing the passer. All right, so now it's going to be 4th down. They can run the clock down to about 10 seconds. They have one timeout. This is just beautiful coaching by Andy Reid. Beautiful coaching. They got the ball down to the 1. They stopped themselves from scoring the touchdown so that they can run the clock all the way down to 10 seconds. They still have a timeout left. They forced Philly to use their last timeout. If they miss the kick, we go to overtime. If they make the kick, they're Super Bowl champions. This beautiful coaching. And the Eagles can't even call a timeout to ice the kicker. This unbelievable coaching. Andy Reid, fantastic coach. This is the part of like American football that I love. Like as a coach, like I enjoy this part of the game. It's just the tactics that are going on, the things like that. All right, Butker. Don't choke. Don't be like the Cowboys kicker who couldn't make an extra point to save his life. And now, yeah, the pressure is mounted. This is all on his leg. This is similar to like say taking penalty kicks at the end of the World Cup final. Like this is high pressure moment right here. But this is a chip shot. So if he misses this, like he's not going to be able to live it down. Fans are going to turn on him. Money straight through the middle. There are 8 seconds left. Okay. So Kansas City's still going to have to kick, and the Eagles are going to get one last kind of play, and it's probably going to look like a rugby play, unless they try to go the Cowboys route and they put their running back at center. They won't do that. They're probably going to get the ball and try to pitch it around to each other, like a last effort type play. Yeah, this is the only time where you can consider this football because he did just win the game with his foot. But yeah, you can see it on the Eagles' face. They're going to have one chance. That was a beautiful drive. Remember, I said it when they had like 4.5 minutes left. Kansas City's going to try to run the clock all the way down, and they ran it down to 8 seconds. You can't coach it better than that. That's one of the best end of the game drives I've ever seen. That was a fantastic bit of coaching. And let's see what kind of kick. Yep, he's just going to squib it to run the clock down more. All right, they got 4 seconds. Let's see what they what they come up with. It makes me happy that the Eagles are probably going to lose. It would take a miracle play here, which has happened. The Dolphins did it to the Patriots a few years ago. Jalen Hurts quarterback sneak for 70. Yeah. To be fair, Jalen Hurts played an amazing game. He played very well in the Super Bowl. Yeah, look, Kansas City's got all of their defenders deep. They're barely sending anyone. He's just going to have to Hail Mary throw it. He can't even get it to a player. Just couldn't get it far enough. And the Kansas City Chiefs are champions. Super Bowl champions. It makes me so happy to see the Cry Eagles cry. At least as a Cowboys fan, I won't have to hear Eagles fans gloating about the Super Bowl all year. Yeah, it's pretty anticlimactic play. Like, at 8 seconds, you know that there's no chance left, pretty much. Yes. Thank you guys for joining in. Was the ref decision correct? I think technically yes on that. I'm assuming you're talking about that holding play. I think technically yes, but it could have gone either way, and it was in a big moment too. So, no, Mahomes is not on Brady's level, but that was a good game from him. I'll be interested to see who wins MVP. It probably will be Mahomes. If it's not, it will be maybe Smith-Schuster or one of the running backs. I assume it'll be Mahomes, though. But, yeah, I think it was the right decision by the ref. It was just a big decision. And Eagles fans are probably going to be upset about it. Yeah. I would say it's probably the fastest Super Bowl. Like, it doesn't feel like I've been watching for 3 hours and 47 minutes, but that's how long this stream has lasted. Anyway, I probably will go ahead and close the stream down now because I'm starving and I'm ready to eat dinner. But I will see if any of you guys want to join in on Tuesday. We'll be watching PSG and Bayern Munich. Before we end, you're saying something about VAR. We don't have a VAR that reviews referee calls. We only have review on not on penalties. We have it on other things. But anyway, I'll see you guys for more Champions League in the middle of the week, where you guys can educate me on what's going on. It was actually nice to reverse the roles a little bit, where I can actually talk about something that I'm familiar with and I kind of know a little bit about. That was fun to do that, but it'll be nice Tuesday for me to be a beginner again. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. See you guys and stay tuned for what's coming up on the channel. Some exciting sponsorship things are going to happen, and I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll see you guys.